All right, so here we go. March Madness knockout tournament here at Binghamton University Poker Club. And we got an all-in right off the bat on the gun from Dom, 6.7K.
Yo, shout out to Nico.
And King Queen here.
Man, this is a tough spot for King
Yeah,
Queen.
really. Looks like he's going to call.
Under the gun
It
plus
really-
one full call. And
Oh, no.
pocket fives.
call?
Pocket fives make the
No,
the
you
fold.
can't
I
make
was
that
gonna say,
call.
especially with two callers.
Yep. Queen 10.
Queen 10 makes I think, a pretty smart fold in the
Yep.
long run. Queen 9 is going to make.
Again, there's
smart
two
fold.
outs gone.
6-3 makes a smart fold. So, yeah, here it comes. So, Ace-6 definitely going to be ahead here
Yep.
against King Queen. That lost some outs. Let's see. Spades, I guess, are alive for King Queen. Spades and diamonds. And clubs are alive in case Ace-6 needs to come back. Let's see the flop. We got
Window, and there's
8
ace.
Ace-10. And that pretty
But
much,
Jack gives him
Jack
outs.
gives him gutter to 3 outs. One Jack is gone. Somebody did fold the Jack. Turn is a King, which
Okay.
also more outs, just a 6. You gained a couple Jacks, and then, of course, we folded 2 Queens. Here comes the river.
Oh, it's a Jack. Wow.
And Adrian Binkson on the river to knock out Dom in hand number 1 of this final
Wow.
table.
Way to
Unreal.
Way to kick things off. I mean, really, I don't think nobody played anything wrong there. Ace-6, you got a stack that's only 1.7K above the starting stack of the tournament. You got to ship it with an ace. King Queen, I think you got a call there. And I don't think you did
Nope,
anything
I don't
wrong.
think-
That's
I don't
just
think
run
bad.
out.
Yep.
Just a run bad.
Bad run out. There you go. Knockout there. And we are down to 7.
And really not Shin's hand with the short stack with about 8,000, but it's going to be a pretty even final table. A lot of people have 27K up in that mid to 20K range, so really it's an even final table here.
Yeah, no, there's nobody that easily has the edge here, but man, what a first
Yep.
hand to start it off. Binks the Jack on the river. Really didn't gain. You only gained 3 more outs, honestly.
Yeah.
You didn't really gain too many more outs, so that was tough. Chintan, under the gun, 5 deuce, insta-muck.
Now 5-3, that's a different story.
5-3. In case you never know, at UNO Poker Club, we have scientifically proven that 5-3 does hit flops. 5-3 hits flops. You can get some open-ender straight draws. 4-2, got to fold that.
I think you call it. Would be a loose raise if you're small.
Now, did
blind.
5-2
5-2
actually
did call.
I was gonna say that. I thought that was a fold, but we'll check and make sure that's true. But that would be quite an interesting under the gun limp. And Queen 6 will check it.
Yep.
We're gonna check it. Might have to reset. And I didn't think Queen 8 definitely limps in. Yeah. Queen 8, Queen 6. I didn't think that was true.
5-2.
Oh, and here comes an interesting board. 6-8-3. Both Adrian and Jack catch a piece to this one. Jack with the option out of position, and we'll check it. And an easy C bet there from Adrian, thinking that he's got at least a piece of it that probably missed. Or was that Jack that bet out? No, it was eight. I think it was a check from. You had somebody check. I think it was.
Yeah, Jack checked, and then Adrian bet. I believe that's what it was.
I believe that's what it was. So the turn comes a Jack.
Really doesn't change much, but backdoor.
And only a 2 outer for Adrian. And so we see a bet out here. 2.3, 2,300. And I don't think there's ever really. You don't think you call here?
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, with the Queen 8, yeah. Then I was going to say middle pair, but especially for Queen 8.
It was worth getting another street, but
yeah,
at that point, a Jack, Rag could be in his range. There's plenty of stuff that could be to 6.
So there you go. That, again, if you're looking at basically the breakdowns of what everybody has, it's not really going to be super bad. Nico says you guys need me on this commentary. Say if you can set up a 4th feed and not have their computer explode. Blinds at 400, 800. I'm guessing with an 800 big blind ante.
Yes.
Ace 6 here for Brad under the gun. Kind of a it would be a tough play there from under the
Yeah.
gun. Kind
I
of
like
on
a call
the break.
if you're not gun.
Could raise it. I mean, you could raise it to try and get some people out. And
Mac Daddy. You're gonna fold that jack 4.
so it looks like Brad did limp in there with ace-6. 10-4 of diamonds folds. Tommy with pocket 10s.
I would think
Becomes an easy raise to 2K.
Pocket 8s.
Pocket 8s.
Ooh.
That's a
Fold.
smart fold
Yeah.
for pocket 8s. A little bit tight there, honestly.
Yeah, I
but
was called.
that was a pretty smart fold, I guess, pre-flop, knowing that you're behind. And here we go. We're heads up to the flop. It is queen 7 deuce. Bricks for the most part. Tommy can easily rep the queen here, no problem. It gets checked to him, and he'll lead out. C bet for 2.7, and it's a full.
Fold.
And Tommy can pick that one up. And I also like that because, again, you're establishing an image of, I can be betting here with the queen, but he didn't necessarily have it. And it's just easy to be able, it's nice to be able to see bet and with any 2 cards essentially having position, having raised, and take down that pot.
Yep.
Sometimes you get yourself out of a bad spot when you, instead of checking it back, you do just decide to see bet. Nice play there.
I can't believe Jack just folded Tommy.
Now my favorite player, Mac Daddy.
And I think they figured out Jack folded pocket 8s.
Yep.
Honestly, us watching here,
Smart
they'll
fold.
watch it back, and it actually was a smart fold.
And there's pocket 10s again.
There we go again. Here we go again.
Standard raise.
I don't think there's ever a point where Mac Daddy folds under the gun. That's a much better. That's more confident you feel if you raise that under the gun, no doubt.
Yep. Raise,
Raise
to
it
2.5.
2.5. Jack with a jack.
Cut off. Be a loose call.
And yeah, it would be a loose call. He thinks it's Jack blank.
6-4 is not going to call that.
6-4. I think you could occasionally, if you really want to
could.
get risky with a 3-bet, honestly, it'd be a good bluff. And now Brad here with
now you
ace
can see a
jack.
3-bet.
You could see a 3 on the big.
You
Oh,
see
he's
a
on the big
call.
blind. Just defend with
Okay,
that. Could kind of disguises the strength of your hand because you could be assuming that he could be have a lot weaker range on this flop. Are you ever going to put him on an ace or anything like that? But boy, that does not help with that.
That's a brick.
Pretty much brick flop. Mac Daddy has to believe he has the best
Yep.
hand here.
Continuation bet.
It will get checked to him, and you'll see the lead out of 5K.
Brad checked. Oh, 185.
Don't really think you can. It'd be tough to even call here at this point.
I mean, it's kind of, he bet 5K into 6.2, which is really
That's
the
not-
reason he did it, is
Yeah.
trying to prevent those any other sort of draws or
Yep.
anything like, or maybe, the occasional 3. But you also have to think, what really hit with that flop for him? Unless he has an overpair, which is what Mac Daddy has, what really
That's what he's
hit that
repping.
flop? What hands do you feel concerned about? He's never really going to raise under the gun with a 7. He's never really going to raise under the gun with a 3 unless it's pocket 3s, but that'd be loose. And he makes the fold. I think in theory that's probably a good fold, a profitable fold.
Let's say a mid pocket pair there puts it in his range.
What? I get it.
Yeah, I think the range advantage
Or
there-
2 overs.
Yeah.
Easily been 2 overs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just doesn't make a lot of sense there, unfortunately. With that size bet, it was good bet sizing there from Mac Daddy to prevent him from drawing.
Yep.
And so he'll take down that pot. By the way, BU Poker Club actually made that table themselves. They bought the technology. I think you can buy it separately, but really impressive stuff. Admire how good that table looks.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're on your gun.
Very slick. See that? Jack
So
5.
our dealer will be under the gun.
Don't really see a call here. Yep. Jack 6.
And so the interesting thing with how that table works, basically
Call from Adrian.
goes over that little muck board there, and you can see where people mucked.
King 10 getting limp in.
Really nice.
Jack.
King 10, kind of in the cutoff, sort of a disguised limp in, but you're also letting some bad hands possibly outdraw you here.
And there's
And
Dark 2 times.
interesting flop.
Yeah.
I think everybody's caught a piece of this because you have 10-9 with middle pair.
And then
You
the
got some.
flush
You got
draw.
a backdoor flush draw and a straight draw gutter for Brad, and then of course the nut flush there for Adrian. I assume a bet is going to get one of these guys
I would
out.
think Mac Daddy does check the 9.
And he's also on his phone right now. And again, folks, in the middle of the hand, do not recommend that you're on your phone.
3,000.
Of course, I don't blame you. And Adrian in position, I think this is smart with the bet of 3K into 4K. And he gets 4-3 to fold. And Mac Daddy.
I think you see a street here.
Oh, no, he just decided to fold. Didn't want to check a street.
Hmm.
And a lot of C bets, as his friend over there
Take it
wants
down,
to take
yeah.
a look. And makes a lot of sense there to bet your equity for sure. And got better hands at the time to fold.
I might have liked another.
I think
I might have liked another call there because you could easily put him on a draw. I don't think you put an ace in his range, considering he limped in.
it is tough, though, considering how big that bet was and the stack depth right now. I mean, your 3K is a pretty significant portion of your stack. So it's a little difficult right now to really want to make those calls. And, everybody's staying really, I think, passive and tight, just making sure that they play solid fundamental poker. Nobody's really going out and making a huge, bluff or difference. But I will say that somebody that wants to be aggressive and really take advantage of the table, I think will have a huge advantage here.
Yeah.
Adrian will also sort of disguise here on the
ace-queen.
hijack with ace-queen of spades and really dominating both the other
Yeah.
hands. 60% equity here to the flop.
Don't really know if I like just calling there. There's the queen.
And Mac Daddy with queen 5, you wonder if he's going to think about c-betting this flop, and he will.
Yeah.
He will go out and throw out 2K half pot. And Seabass will obviously fold and gets a raise, a min raise, I think, to 4K, and will get the call.
Yep.
I almost think you could have just flat called there and let Mac Daddy continue to bluff,
Yeah.
because now you may think he's on a drop, but here you go again. Continue
Great draw.
for 5K, and I think it's just a flat call here from Adrian,
Yep.
because if he wants to continue to bluff it off, might as well let him have it. That deuce has to be an absolute brick.
At this point, I don't know if you put him on a draw anymore, but either it's a bluff or he has a queen.
Which obviously with the best kicker, you're never
Yeah.
going to fold here. And it looks like he's counting out the chips to just call.
Yep.
And he does. I think that's a great call.
Yep.
And
I see draw checking there. on the
Only a
turn.
5. And it's
It's
a
a 6.
A 6.
It looked like a 5,
Looked
right?
like 5, folks.
All in.
He's
all
all in as a
in.
bluff.
Wow.
And that's a diamond, too. So here's the big thing. that You
Wow.
could be betting his bluff. This is a great spot to do it. But can Adrian make an absolute hero call with just top pair? Diamond came in on the river, but can you really think that he played a draw that way?
Yeah, I don't.
Because he didn't. I mean, he got check raised and called. I mean, he got raised essentially in position, and he called it. Can c-bet on the 2. I don't really think you can think he's hit that flush, but is he going to find a fold? He does.
He does.
folds.
Wow.
What a bluff from Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy getting a big bluff there.
And that gives him the chip
Wow.
lead at 33,000 chips.
I'd be curious to know what he put Mac Daddy on. Don't know if you put a draw on Mac Daddy.
Unreal bluff there. Honestly, unreal.
Maybe
With
two,
top pair.
Maybe 2 pair. You put him on. I don't know if you put him on a draw. I think a draw checks the turn.
Especially when he limped in, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's your problem to start with, is that you limped in with ace-queen and allowed yourself to get
Yep.
bluffed like that. You allowed yourself to possibly let him catch up. That is unreal.
Wow.
Oh, screaming like they
Only
just
a
won the,
queen?
like the ALDS.
You didn't have
That's
queen
quite
something?
Oh,
Really?
Absolutely unreal.
And I believe
Wait, what do you say again?
Mac Daddy did say he had a queen when asked.
I had one queen also.
So I'd be curious to see what
Kenny, send me that hand too.
he put him on.
Wow. I'm
Wow.
sure Adrian
That's
not
a
going to
play.
be very happy
No.
watching that back for sure. Unreal. Under the gun, Jack 7 of diamonds. I think it's good fold. Jack's just trying to play patient and wait everybody out.
Call from the Adrian.
Unreal.
Chip hands folds.
Now you fold jack nine.
Brad with 7-5 of clubs in the cutoff, and we'll fold it. And Mac Daddy with king 10 on the button will just make the call in position. And Seabass 4-3. Be a loose call, but
Yeah.
Nah,
He's
he just
got fold.
folded.
Yep, I think that's good.
And Tommy with pocket fours on the button will just
Check
check
it
it. I don't mind that. You also, I could see a raise, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't-
surprised I didn't see a raise from Mac Daddy there. King 10 in position.
7 ace 5. Mac Daddy cannot feel good about that flop.
No.
Adrian obviously way ahead, and will probably bet first and get 2 folds. Honestly, 3
Yeah.
overs to the board for Tommy. Maybe you can
Can't
make a
get
call. Bet only 1K, and that's kind of an interesting.
Really?
That's
enticing him.
enticing a call here. I think he does get a call from pocket
Yeah.
fours. That's a good bet size. Really, you're only betting about 20% pot. Turn comes a 6, which gives Tommy now outs to the straight.
And they both
Nobody
check.
has any heart. 8, 3, or 4. There's 1 4 left for him that's good, and it's an absolute brick deuce on the river. I don't think that you're ever gonna.
Now
think
I
that
think
makes
it's
a
bet-
difference.
Bet by Adrian and a fold.
Now, what
By
will Tommy do? So Adrian plus. So Tommy, does he just donk here with 3,000? I think he did.
Wow, he's gonna. What are you repping here?
It's tough to rep the nut flush here.
Yeah, really.
Any straight, and he gets a pretty quick call there. Or no, did he
I
raise?
mean,
Yeah, he
yeah, raise 6. I like that raise.
raised to 6K from 3K. Min raise. I think it's smart because you're
Yeah.
pushing him off a lot of the lower pair, hands. I mean, obviously you're doing it for value, and really 2 pair. He has
Yeah.
2 pair here. I totally forgot about that. That obviously makes a difference.
Yep.
Apparently, Sebastian spent $1,000 on a poker trading site, according to somebody in the chat here. I would agree that Jack and Tommy, Adrian really was interesting. His big mistake there was limping with Ace Queen in that previous hand. Now, and Tommy, who's kind of
I don't. I
think about.
really-
He takes a. Is that a time bank or is that just a?
It's a call. I believe it's a call.
It's
yeah.
a call.
Wow.
Oh no, he shoved all in and he got insta call.
Wow.
Was that true? Is this true? What I'm seeing with my eyes? I don't think it is. I
No
think that
way.
might have been. No way he just shoved there.
No. No.
No way he just shoved there with pocket fours.
Did you see my hand?
He 3-bet
Are
shove.
they
Which,
counting out that he's covered or not?
yeah, I think he did. I
Wow.
think this is true. I cannot believe.
Shove with pocket fours. Your line doesn't make sense if you're representing a draw. You check 2 times.
And you only bet 3K into the pot, and
Yeah.
Adrian makes the hero call this time with 2 pair. I believe. I think he does have a little bit back because he might have had Adrian covered there.
Yep.
Wow, that is unreal.
That deuce.
That is unreal.
Wow.
Miko on the chat saying Tommy never does something like that.
Now another heart comes up on the river. I think that might go through.
Yeah, I think you get through, especially if the 2 of hearts comes through. That's
Yeah.
a tough call.
Yep.
That'd been a really sick
But
card.
it doesn't make sense. Tommy checked 2 streets. He then raised it. He comes out. He leads on the river.
This
the
is
line
very
is-
spot
Yeah.
to bluff there. And Adrian, this time around, I like Mac Daddy's continuing on that board because he could be repping 2 pair, could be repping a set. But compare that line to this line, and it made absolutely no sense. And Adrian, obviously, with the 2 coming on the river, making the right call, and Tommy down to just 5 big blinds.
Wow.
Wow, that is unreal.
Fireworks going off here. Final table.
So our blinds
Not
are
even that much in. That's like the 5th, 6th hand.
yeah. So our blinds are at 5 and 1K with a 1K big blind ante. That is crazy.
Wow.
What a hand. We've seen some absolute fireworks here at the March Madness Knockout Tournament.
Well, craziness happens in March.
That's right. It is March Madness.
And here might come a shove.
Might be a shove spot.
I think you have.
Does
Yeah,
have it
there
all
is.
in. And somebody,
Cut off. I don't see a.
Seabass, I think, with
No,
looking at Jack 5, I don't think it's ever
Yeah,
going to
fold.
happen.
Now it'll be interesting here with the small and big blinds. 7, 6.
Jack was 6'3", and is he considering it to try and knock out somebody with 6'3"? I mean, you're not that
It'd be
big.
about fourth of a stack.
With the big blind, honestly, there's implied odds
There's a
there. I
fold.
decided to fold. I mean, you kind of have the thought of you have 1,000 in and then an extra 1,000 for the big blind ante. So you do have increased odds there. Not necessarily that he does have the odds to make the call, especially with that hand, but it can influence your decision.
Yep.
So Chintan will get that through and pick up about 3K.
And at least with the hand like 6-3, you would have to think you'd be live.
It's open.
Your 2 cards would be live because you don't shove there without a high card. Like
Yeah.
that. So you gotta still factor that in.
No, yeah, I think it was just 2. It would be much too
yeah.
much to call.
Yep.
For now we're doing good. Court, can you open?
And
Pocket
they also
nines
said
on
knock club count for 5 club points.
No,
This is, that's an interesting concept. I like that. We might have to implement that maybe one time at ours. And Chintan will do it again in a great spot
Yep.
with pocket nines.
So I'm saying, like, keep that off the
Jack deuce. Get one. No, there's one of his outs if he gets called.
on time.
And so 9, yeah, that sucks for Chintan if he does get called. And a fold and king 4 from Jack here, small blind
Interesting.
full
Yeah, I
edge
don't
through.
Yeah.
So there you go, 2 hands in a row, shoves, and adding 5K in 2 hands to his
Yep.
stack, which is pretty significant
Yeah.
in this type of tournament, especially with our stack depth. That's a big one. So you have the 5 club points, obviously making a big difference. I think BU Poker Club does some online stuff as well that count for points. So I like their
Yes.
structure a lot. I think our structure is a little bit more simplified in the fact that we don't do online, and it's kind of we try to make it as easy as possible
Yep.
for ourselves. But I think with the resources these guys have, it's always interesting to do like a really deep season. All the tournaments they're doing. This is really enjoyable, especially with this structure of doing the knockout and the extra points.
5-3. Oh,
Binghamton Poker Club in
Folds 5-3.
New York. And we'll get a limp in from the button. Limp in from +1, limp in from the button. And we've got 4 people to a flop of ace, deuce, 4, which gives Chintan the 5 to the straight. Mac Daddy with the high card here of a king actually has it. But I think the first person to bet honestly might be able to take this one down.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe with the backdoor draws you're going to do it, but if somebody wants to bet at it,
get a lot full.
check. It goes check around, and here
There's
comes
a
a
queen.
queen on the turn, which doesn't change
Let's
anything
say the
there.
aggressor is probably gonna take this down,
Well, there was no aggressor.
or the aggressor coming out of here, coming out.
Wait, who's that? Chintan,
Check
right?
Wow.
around. Did it check around again? Yes. And what's the river card?
Yeah, that was the hand where you jammed. 1,000.
Well, it's on Adrian. He's gonna bet out.
And he will bet out. It just kind of depends on what that. We don't see that last card. Gets a fold from Chintan.
Blinds over my hand.
Yeah, we might have to make a trip
Yeah.
to New York, Jeff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
That'd be fun.
Premier Public Ivy in
A
the
fold.
Northeast. They've had a tourney with 71 entries before. That's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Your hand, and I know I'm beating you, but I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna fold. Okay? You have to be careful how you peel your cards.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep.
You peel your cards like.
Did I
Peel
do
your
I
cards
do it that way?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You're really
I didn't
scummy.
realize it. Sorry.
Yeah, you like peel your cards like this, so it's like for
Yeah, 'cause if you
you.
didn't
All right. So Adrian did bet 1K into a pot of 5, and got.
I have 8.
I was gonna say I don't think there was ever really a spot where you could do it there.
You should have first called.
And we're gonna get hopefully our video back up on the stream here in just a moment, folks.
Good guy, Jack.
Adrian still at the lead with 38.3K. Small stacks. Tommy with 4 big blinds, and Chintan with 8 big
Pretend I thought
blinds.
I had a 9. And then, like, you know,
What's
like,
the boss would I look if I showed 8 high?
Really, no one's really taking charge.
no, but like in this case,
We had that big
everyone-
Tommy all in, but
And I would say Mac Daddy really with his aggression on that
Yeah.
one hand really set the tone.
yep.
Okay, now why is my Google Hangouts in Spanish? That's a good question. Good question here, folks.
King 9 under the gun. Might find a tight fold, but I think you can call.
Oh, it's 612.
Oh, and we have.
Sorry, sorry. This is what we're saying, 612.
Somebody just ran into it here.
Okay, so Matt Daddy calls. Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh no.
So we got a call from under the gun, and now Seabass will think about it. Mag Daddy and Seabass, this is going to be a really
Yeah.
You didn't bring your stuff with you, right?
No, I have to go back home. Raise 3,900.
And he raises. I believe I heard 3,900. 7 deuce, Jack 4 gonna fold, 8-6, yep, 9-5. So it's gonna be heads. Let's see what Mac Daddy wants to do. King 9 suited. At a little opposition, under the gun +1. And he's gonna call.
There we go. I fixed my Google Hangouts to go to English, and
We got a call here.
we got a call here. So obviously, this is gonna be a good hand. I think
Yeah.
you easily make the call under the gun, and you're gonna have plenty of equity here.
In here, up.
3 deuce ace, and I don't see any situation possible where
Yeah.
Mac Daddy is
Is gonna
going
call
to take
that
this
here.
down. Makes the check. Now, if you're Seabass, I think you check this back.
Yeah, I think you do too. You check this back.
And he does
Yep,
check it back.
good
Very
check back.
smart.
10, not really gonna change much. I think this is when you bet out and take it down.
Check.
Mac Daddy really want to go with it? No, he's going to check it again, and it would be really sick if you check down 2
Yeah.
streets. Could just put out a small C bet, but
Yeah.
you kind of know when it checks down 2 streets, I don't think there's ever going to be a point in time.
Yeah.
And he's counting at the pot to maybe try
Yeah.
and do, and this is a tell here. I don't think
Yeah.
there's Mac Daddy's ever going to call.
No.
I feel like everyone's
I don't think he's ever
King
going to
high.
call.
No.
I should have done it for this stream,
You should've.
but I felt too bad because I was like, and it sucked because I had 8-6, so I saw you had a 6,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck, like I'm not gonna hit my 6, and yeah, 7-8.
And so we'll lead out. That's a big number.
Yeah. Maybe
you-
trying to represent a bluff. 7.8.
Now that looks a lot like value, or maybe just trying to
Well, how
push.
big was the pot?
Pot was about 11K.
Oh,
so I think
that's
he's trying to.
value,
I think
yeah.
he's trying to push, make a good enough value bet to push Mac Daddy off of the backdoor
Yep.
flush, or anything like that. I don't really think there's a point
Yeah.
where you can call. I think you got to get away from
That'd
this.
be a fourth of the
Easy
stack,
fold.
and that's
Yep.
yep.
Easy fold and a good hand there
Yep.
for Sebastian to pick up a nice pot of 18,000. He bet out, but 11,000 in the pot originally. That's any pot you can win. It looks like in this
Yeah.
format, it's going to be big, no doubt.
Especially considering 1K are now the blinds. Now they're at the 1.2.
No, I mean, because you can see his cards already.
Oh, you're right.
So we're our first sighting of pocket rockets today.
We're gonna do one hand where someone doesn't put it on the guesser and they have to guess on the thing.
I remember when Bonomo did that. You remember that?
Yeah, and then he made a big fucking deal about it.
I think it was just
So we calmed down, I think, a little bit on
Yeah.
the fireworks there. That almost could have been a really action-packed hand, but the flop, obviously, knowing that he raised from the +1 spot, you have to assume that there's no way he doesn't have an
Yeah.
ace there, or at least most of the time going to have an ace.
No way you call there king
Obviously,
high. Value
Sebastian
bet there on the
really
turn.
smart to check it back.
Yep.
And now we might get our video back up here.
Would have been sick if he checked down 2 streets.
Now let me real quick switch our camera here. Cam link.
Well, and Seabass gets king 10 suited. Not bad under the gun.
All right, there we go.
I'll probably see a call here. Ooh. Seabass had king 10 and he.
So UTG +1, King Queen.
I believe he
Looks-
just called, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it could have been just a call.
I believe Seabass called as
Oh
well.
no, it's an all in.
It's all in.
All in from Tommy. Yeah, he's too low. So I think that's got their all in markers or something to that effect.
And
So
we
one
did have
chip
a
all
call.
in.
I
Oh, you
believe
did have a
Seabass
call.
called. Oh, yeah.
Seabass had to
that's
call.
an easy call, yeah.
Okay. And the flop comes 9-8 queen, and there are some backdoor draws only to jacks right now for Sebastian, but a little bit better. You get some more equity if
Near
you're
the beginning,
Tommy.
we have first hand. We saw Jack.
A 6, which adds a double gutter now.
Wow.
For Seabass. Jacks or 7s. Think on the river. No,
Oh,
it's a 10. It actually doesn't matter. For
Tommy
that
doubles
10.
up.
Nice double up there. When you're ahead, it always feels good to win it when you're ahead.
Poker works.
Poker works most of the time until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Until it does.
I have to call it your Seabass though. Leave only like 1.1.
Especially when you raise, yeah.
Or yeah.
And everybody else folds. Easy call. So especially with how quick these blinds are raising, we're going to get to, I'm sure we're going to get down some eliminations here pretty quick.
Yeah.
We've had plenty of all-ins, but we really just haven't gotten to the point of,
Let's say a big stack is only 38 big blinds.
yeah,
Less.
exactly.
Why would less
Less
now?
than that now.
No, I think he figured if he tanks, you tank, and go check.
Somebody is here helping
Nice
for
top shit.
This is good. We're good.
I mean,
Wait,
I
how
like
did
to
you
go
get
ahead and
1%? Oh,
and obviously we check the Chata, right? King of the tournament.
You see, they're only about.
If it was 4 or 5.
You see back in the background about 3 more levels.
You go, and then they'll be
Yeah.
probably stopped at
2 and 4, if I see.
yeah, it looks like 2 and 4 with the 4th K big blind ante.
Yeah.
So that'll I don't think.
I don't know
even
if I
that,
get that
even
far.
then that's pretty big. Who
Yeah.
knows if it'll get that far?
Yep.
So King 10 from Jack, and I don't think it's the point to.
Don't know if you
Don't need to shove
yet.
here yet. You got more than 10 big blinds, especially with how deep everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's just an easy raise.
What's the standard opening? 2.5?
7 deuce. No.
Ah, this could get through. Yeah, 1.2 to call. 6-8.
Yeah, it's only
Be
a
a
mid
loose
raise.
call.
Uh,
Yeah, this could call.
Seabass does call, and I don't mind it with
No,
the,
I don't
just
either.
just to see if you can
I could
outrun
have seen.
somebody.
I could have seen either way. But hard to let someone take the blinds for only a big blind more.
Yep, we can. And here comes the flop. Gutter for Seabass, but 2 of them are gone. Only 2 outs right now. Yeah.
I think you continuation bet here if you're Jack. 10 is certainly in his repertoire, and it is.
You caught up, right? You caught up.
Seabass, you're calculating your odds. Don't. Well, how much was the raise? 2.4.
Yo, shout out to Jacob for this movie. Best
Uh,
movie.
Third pot odds he's giving them.
I think we were, by the way, to answer the question from BU Poker Club, I think we found these guys. Where did I was just looking for college poker clubs on
Yeah.
Facebook, and you guys came up.
Ooh, nutty raise by Seabass there. Could put him on a spade draw. Overpairs out of the question.
We have 22 viewers.
You
now.
could also have a 10.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
ever
there's a
any
raise
shove.
all in, yeah.
Yep, shoves all in, and
Yep.
he's absolutely caught him. I don't know if there's ever a spot where we're going to
Yeah.
call here. Only with the gutter, you have no backdoor flush
Let's
draw.
say if you're Jack, the only reasonable thought is you put Seabass on a draw. And if that's the case,
This would be a
I think you raise for
really
a double
loose
up.
call.
Yeah, I don't think you call here. There's just you're only down to 2 outs. Of course, Seabass doesn't know that. He thinks he has 4.
Now our video's back up. Sweet.
But there's no way you call.
You cannot
You
call
can't,
here. You
no.
cannot call. That's even you think you have 4 outs to a gutter, but
Yeah.
right now we see you have 2 outs to
Yeah.
a gutter. And if any of those outs hit, it would be an absolute injustice to the game. And is he
And
actually?
Seabass is actually.
He's got him in his hand. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think you have to fold.
Yeah.
I mean, counting
Yeah,
out
spread
the
the
pot.
pot.
I mean, you're at a pot of 26-6 with that all in. 6K to
About
call. You
3
do
more
have.
big blinds to call.
You have
No,
well, let's see. If you're looking at 6 into call 6 to win 26, that's 4. That's about 4.5 to 1. So you're looking probably at about 18-ish to 20%, and there's just no reasonable way
Yeah.
for you to call here. You just cannot call. The equity is not there to try and draw.
I mean, he's screaming. Jack is screaming. I have a 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you shove all in, you're trying to force out a draw.
Yeah. So Seabass should know exactly what he has. You can't call.
You cannot. I
Can't
we can't
reasonably
say it
call.
enough that you cannot call here. You cannot call here.
We're trying to scream all the way from Lincoln here. You can't call.
Oh my gosh. Tanking this long is
Yeah.
really the real shock.
Seabass
honestly.
fishing for. I don't know. You can't.
You
can't.
cannot call. You cannot call.
At that point, it turns from poker to gambling.
Pretty much.
If
Pretty
you
much.
call here.
It's not poker. It's pressing your luck.
Really interesting why he's tanking so long.
Folks, I'm going to just stare straight into the
fold,
camera.
yeah.
Should be an
Fold.
easy. I don't know what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about calling with the gutter? You have no he's counting it out. No, you cannot call.
No.
You are going to lose your chip lead. Actually, does he even have a chip lead anymore?
This would be for, well, based on what's up on the graphics.
On the boards right
he'd be
now.
down to 10 big blinds less.
This is an
If he
absolutely
loses.
not smart call. This is not a smart call. He's counting it out. There's no way you
Stop.
call.
Stop.
Just all you got to do is just scan him in the muck. Scan
Yeah.
him in the muck. That's all you got to do.
All right, guys. I think the stream can hear us and you guys now. We have your video, so and it's not lagging.
Oh, sweet, awesome. So yeah, we see us on there.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure.
Jansen 2010 says, "Where's James with the tank
Is
call?"
Sebastian misreading his hand? Or?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's true. James is one of the players in our club that would, and he's still. I mean, he looks.
Wow.
In anguish
He
about
looks in
this
agony.
call.
Why?
looks like-
You have a gutter.
You have a gutter. You have a gutter. You have no
There's
flush
no
draw.
way.
Jack's tanking
No
with the
way
10.
you make the call.
No, Sebastian's tanking with.
Sebastian's taking with the gutter.
Sebastian's tanking with
Okay.
the gutter
gutter.
to a
Right.
7, and we can see that he's only down to 2 outs.
Weird. I hear like you talking and like later I hear it in my ear again.
So we're adjusting our audio and
Like-
stuff here so we can get the best production quality out to our
Yeah.
wonderful fans.
That for me, it's like an insta-muck.
Is he looking at
Once
the clock?
once he goes all in, that's like, whoop.
I mean, he's tanked for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't see Sebastian
Seabass
calling
might-
this.
He's caught here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no way.
There's no way. There's no. I mean, we can't. We've said this 20 times.
I mean, what is he thinking about here?
Is he just trying to take a chance? I mean, if he calls and a 7 comes on this board, it'll be an injustice.
I mean, that's- I don't know.
They can't
Do you think there's a shot? Well, I want to go through a set and see what does he put him on. Do you think he's putting him on a draw as well? I don't know.
I mean, I think
But
he
there's
limped.
no way.
Well, no, he raised under the
yeah.
gun. He raised under
Yeah.
the gun and got a call.
Doesn't make sense.
Check. He bet out 2.4. Seabass was trying to obviously
He has
check raise a draw, right, as a bluff, and then
Well,
he got shoved all in.
Do you put him on ace, queen, ace, jack suited
I can
with
hear
spades?
that in the
Is that why you're thinking of calling? But even so,
There's some heated things.
And he makes the
Thank
fold.
you.
Thank you.
Wow.
I don't even know what the other guys are saying. Are we live?
Yes.
So they people
Smart fold there by Sebastian. He needed some help.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he tanked for that long was
Can I see the turn?
unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Oh, you would have had to fucking nut.
So yeah, you're absolutely
I
right.
don't. With him taking that long, do you really think he puts him on a 10? I don't know if he puts him on a 10 if he's taking that long.
No, I don't think you. I don't.
He
think
might,
You
maybe,
Yeah.
he might have had him on.
I should have just flatted.
do. I mean, maybe, but.
I don't know. I mean, because I have only.
But there's no way, even so, you can't be
When you,
ahead there.
when you three bet on the flop, when you 3-bet shove.
Yeah.
First off, you're never 3-bet shoving as a bluff.
No.
I mean, 3-bet shoving as a bluff would be
Really never
ridiculous.
fold it.
You're rarely ever going to do that. But when you 3-bet, I mean, he caught him, right? And he 3-bet for value because he has top pair on a board that you would never think that Sebastian ever has him.
If I didn't raise.
The only I could see you maybe calling with an open end. I
Yeah.
can see you calling
Yep.
with an open end,
With 7?
but not in that spot. Not in that spot.
I was like, yeah, what's up?
Well, you're getting the odds.
Yes,
I don't know,
I'm
because
mad.
I
Somebody could
I
say
know
somebody
that
call a
they
shot
play
clock.
forward.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
mad. I mean, there's no point to call there.
Yeah.
No,
No way.
point. No,
No
way,
way.
you call.
Wait, I fucking
No
took
way.
it on advice.
But besides that, we're on to the next hand.
You needed 20, you were getting 12.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I was-
Jack 9 under the gun.
And I have no problem with how Jack played that hand.
No,
You have top
no.
pair, especially with a good pair. There's no way that he has you unless he's got a weird 2 pair that
Yeah.
he's defended from the big blind with. And even then, you're still drawing. So there's
You keep my bluffs so much, I have a ton of. I have far more bluffs and value hands. That's why I
But
was.
like, you're never folding a flush draw. You're never folding a straight draw.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're never folding an open ender,
No.
right? You would call with an open ender because you actually have the equity to call.
Yep.
Because he had great pot odds with only six in his 26. He would have had the odds there because you're looking at about 30% with the open ender. But of course, we saw with the outs that were there that he didn't have
Yeah.
30%. But just in that spot with the gutter, you're never calling. You're never calling. You're caught. You're dead. You're done.
I had 10-4 off.
I mean, that is a good point. Poker Club just said that he's got 4-1. He only needs 20%, but he didn't have 20% there.
No.
Even with all 4 sevens, you're looking at maybe like 16 to
What was
15%.
his spot? What was his spot odds again?
About 4-1, maybe 4.5 to 1.
So, and the way I think the formula works, he had around 10%.
I mean, I get the points system and all, but you also have to think about the size of your stack. He calls and loses, and he's down to like what?
Close to 10
11K.
blinds? Yeah.
10 big
I
blinds.
didn't think you were like you were raising any hands that weren't just like going.
Oh, that might have fucked up.
Just because of my stack size. That was literally.
Yeah,
it.
that
I was like,
just
I have 2
yeah.
X's
I get where the other. I knew there was outside factors that he was thinking about there.
Yeah.
But even then, you look at the cards and you're like, there's no way I can.
Yeah.
It might be on
No
this.
way.
At one point, you got to be the card. Look at the cards and be like,
I have a
Drawn,
gutter.
yeah, I'm drawing
a
a gutter.
And we have Chin Tan all in for 8K, and he's all in over. And Mac Daddy says
Is he?
That's what he said to me. I
No,
don't know.
tell him to call me.
Ace Queen.
Ace Queen for
Ooh.
Chin Tan. I think Mac Dad with
Oh,
pocket kings. Oh boy!
Wow.
So Seabass full.
Yep. With
Jack
ice.
with
Yep.
six.
You. That's one out. Well,
Is he
no.
thinking about it? Is he thinking about trying to catch a piece of it?
Yep. That's a good.
He does not.
That's
Good
a
fold.
good all in by Mac Daddy. Isolate. Wow. This is big.
Here comes a big one here. Pocket Kings versus Ace Queen. Good isolation by Mac Daddy. Chin Tan trying to double up. He is down 3-1.
So I thought I had the odds to call. That's why I was
3-10-6. Absolute bricks. Drawing just to the ace.
Oh,
Gives
mix
him
up
some
some
outs
outs.
to
Ace of the king.
only a king. Ace or a king. River is an
An
eight.
eight.
And
Pocket
that is
kings.
it.
For Shintan. Just ran into a truck.
Ran into a truck there. I mean, you were drawing, but obviously with the kings, it's going to be tough. And out goes Chin Tan. We are down to 6-handed here in the March Madness Knockout Tournament.
I should have. I see his stack right now.
So a couple of interesting ones.
He hit the 7.
He checked.
He hit the 7. The good shot.
But really only down to a couple more small stacks, and then we're in the big boys, the big stacks going at it.
Absolutely.
And of course, my favorite nickname, Mac Daddy, getting another knockout.
So apparently it looked like Sebastian thought he had more outs there, which is why he had it on a thing. And so the
Why would you ever bluff?
Jack should never be three bet jamming flop with top pair and king of spades. Well, I mean, if you know that he's going to be check raising with a draw, and you have top pair, I definitely see a shove there being reasonable. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. Like 3-bet jamming is kind of crazy in that spot, but also if you know that he's going to be doing that check raise with a draw, then you're going to try and force him off of it, and he did force him off of it. Of course, Sebastian thought he had more outs like an open ender, but.
Blinds have raised 800 and 1.6K.
I mean, he would have needed needed something because I guess maybe a 9, but then again, you still need a 7. He needed a 7. Tommy all in on the button with ace 10. Seabass does call with ace 5 and finds himself dominated, but still
Again.
with a draw 65-35.
Hearts are live too.
You had him covered.
Hearts are live. The flop comes deuce 7-6. A group of the most irrelevant cards you'll ever see. Hard draw on the turn, and it
We
gets
got
the
wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh no! Running hearts.
You
Running
know,
hearts.
like you said, Alec, 4%. 4% is the
4% on those.
running suited cards.
Yeah, running suited cards like that, I believe. That is unreal. 60.
Wow.
By the way, the payout for the points here. 60. What was it? 60, 25, 15 for the points. That's pretty significant. Big jump for that first place
Yeah.
prize.
De-incentivizes people to just
Wow.
tank. It makes people play for the win more.
Interesting, some hands.
Yeah, Seabass just blew
Yeah.
through that.
Let's say yeah, Mac Daddy's.
He was like,
it was a little fast. Yeah.
It was fast. You're no doubt. So we're down to 5.
GP right now.
Wow. So I don't know. Are we down 5? Because I think no, Seabass I think had him covered. I think he
Yeah,
had him
Seabass had
covered.
him covered.
Yep. Yeah.
We're good. We got them.
Time was down to about 12K.
What's your difference in? Okay.
He's gonna play the next tournament.
He said he folds out all bluffs and only on that 10 that king 10 and only gets called by better or something he's slipping against. I mean, yeah, that's in essence true. That's part of the reason. I mean, you're going to try and double up. He's also pot committed probably. I mean, a little bit at that point. Might be partially because that pot was pretty
I
significant.
think it was to call Seabass's raise. It was about probably close to maybe to half a stack.
Uh-huh.
So even if he was just calling, he was probably already pot committed in the first place.
Absolutely.
Jack 10.
Jack 10 under the gun from Mac Daddy.
Is 5-handed. I think he raised. Yeah.
Oh, he calls.
Oh, he's just gonna call him. Okay.
He's going to limp in under the gun. Seabass is queen 5 of hearts and will muck it away. So loses some outs there for Mac Daddy.
Well, I fold.
Jack with 9-6 of clubs. I could definitely see a limp in here, but he
Yep.
folded. Adrian now with 6 deuce of spades.
Fold, and you check your options.
Adrian still got cards from him, so he did make the call and option from the small blind, which makes sense.
Okay,
Option 4-3, and so everybody catching a little bit of this flop. Brad ahead with a pair of threes, but you
Yeah.
never think you're ahead with bottom pair.
No.
You're gonna see Mac Daddy c-bet, and maybe you'll see a call from Brad
Again,
with the
everyone,
bottom pair.
Again, everyone limped in, so can't really put.
And
Ace in the range.
Noah checked around. Turn
Yep.
comes to 7, which
That
really
doesn't-
complicates this.
yeah.
Because now Adrian with the nut flush draw, Brad has 2 pair, and now Mac
I
Daddy
could-
basically has nothing. So
Yeah, I could see a lead out here by Brad, a raise potentially by Adrian.
no, Adrian's gonna lead out.
He's gonna lead out
out
here.
of position. He
Oh,
donks
yeah.
it.
2,000.
I think Brad, I think you got 2K into about a third pot raise there. I think you got called or street.
60, 25, 15.
Could put him on a draw. 2 draws are out there. Don't really think you put him on a 7.
It's 2K from Adrian.
Yeah. What are the points?
And so
Well-
Adrian with pretty much the too many out syndrome, but
Yeah,
he
and
still
it
ended up
folds
taking it down.
Yep.
Brad folded his 2 bottom 2 pair. Can't really think
I don't-
you're gonna be in
Yeah,
a
I don't
great
blame
spot.
him. I might maybe it was a third of the pot raise, so I could have seen a call.
Because I quadrupled up and then not gonna work.
Thinking you don't know if he's put a ace or 7 in the range, maybe a 7, but
Oh, yeah. Adrian, press me.
I'm sorry.
So
I
down
think
to
a
5.
I think a 7 might have let out there on the flop.
Maybe.
Everybody's very close to
I get distracted with
Are we still at 8? 8, 6?
Yeah.
69.
It's 2-4 the last
And so now we're at 8 and 1.6 with a 1.6 big blind ante. So it's going to get really. So we're going to see
Yeah.
some knockouts here pretty quick
It's
here,
supposed
folks.
to be like, the last big blind is supposed to be 20% on the chips and blind.
And so Sebastian will fold King 5 into the gun. Jack with one of the worst hands you can
Yep.
ever look at.
You deuce button, yep.
A
Don't mind
call from Adrian. I like that with the 3 deuce. You almost could raise with that
Yeah.
sort of as a. Where sometimes you'll see me raise with some
Yep.
of those
Suited
weird
connectors.
suited connectors, and you can hit with those and
Yep.
never ever imagine that somebody's hit with that type of board.
Well, speak of suit connectors, got 4 or 5 clubs.
And kind of a weird flop. Adrian with the pair of 2s, but not feeling good about it. And so Adrian is in position on the button. Checks through to the turn is a 10 of hearts.
Doesn't really change anything.
Doesn't change anything. You maybe put somebody on a 10.
Yeah,
Oh, I liked it.
possibly 10-7, something like that suited.
What did they think of my jam with King 10?
What they think about King 10?
He's in the big blind. He has so many hands. He has so many hands.
But
He has 8-4. He has 9-8. He has 3-4. He has so many hands.
Plus, only you win 20%. Plus, you didn't know you had a 10.
Yeah,
It's only my
I love play.
Sebastian still liked his play. Again, for me with the gutter, I mean, I liked the way Jack played it. I don't mind the check raise, but I would only be check raising probably with a little bit more equity at the bluff.
Yep.
Because you're wanting to semi-bluff. You have the equity of only, I understand with the 5 points you want to put pressure on, but then he just got it sent right back. And how do you find I don't think you call. I don't mind the play, but I think you do it in a different spot with maybe because that was a 10-5-4. Maybe you do that with, again, 7-6, 3-2. I would do that.
Yeah, so I don't mind that raise by Seabass, but when you get someone over the top all in, they kind of scream out. That's never a bluff.
Yeah, it's a tough spot from Jack, but I think he picked up on the fact that Sebastian would probably be doing that check raise with a draw.
Yep.
Right? You can only he can only be beat by the weird 10-5, 10-4, 5-4 bottom set, whatever. Which who knows if he really had it. Sebastian may have raised some of those bottom set hands like pocket fours, pocket fives, and then ace 10, which I think Sebastian also probably maybe 3-bets with.
Yep.
He got min raised, maybe ace 10, probably 3-bets. So I don't know. It was an interesting hand and a weird hand for sure, but I don't fault Jack for playing it that way.
No, I think he played it good.
Yeah.
No. So confused. And I'm like these in front, and he moves his 5. He moves his 5K.
Did Jack calls it?
Yeah. Adrian calls. He moves his 5Ks in front.
So Adrian will limp in here with Jack 10. I think limping in does make you only really need a min raise at this point.
Yeah.
With how
big the blinds are.
How big the blinds are. You don't need to be 3x.
Yep. I was gonna say you might want to raise. He's just gonna ship it.
Brad will ship it. Queen 3 will make the very simple fold.
Ace 8
might make the call here with
yeah.
one behind, and of course Brad does not know that if Adrian's gonna fold with Jack 10 off, which I think he
should if he gets.
You
a call
should
here,
if he calls. Maybe you call with Jack 10 off occasionally, but I think Sebastian will probably make the call here.
Absolutely dominating. He's got him. You gotta make a call.
Got some people in the chat rooting for Adrian. Adrian right now with the big stack made a couple good plays and made a hero call. He did get bluffed out by Mac Daddy earlier, but he made the right hero call with 2 pair when the diamond flush came in. It was a weird hand though there again.
Seabass still thinking about this call. I think you got to. I mean, it's just short of half your stack, but... Oh, he's going to fold. Wow, it gets through.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
That, for me, in a shove spot there, that's right on that's definitely prime call range for sure with it suited.
8, you must say ace 8 off. That's a little more. I don't mind the fold there, but you got suited.
You could be dominated there, but also with it suited. And you got to think he's probably going to be shoving at this stacked up with a lot of lower pocket pairs and your king queens, and you're going to be alive and with plenty of equity no matter what.
I'm a little surprised I got through, but
1K, 2K, 2K. Oh my god.
1K, 2K, 2K?
Yeah. I didn't think you were showing that long. I honestly expected I think Brad just showing better.
Too low also. Only person closing is Jack.
I was closing. Well,
I'm going to tag
I
poker.
was in the big blind and then
do it. Poker News, #1 source in the world.
I should just want it there, I think.
We should do it.
Under the gun, under the gun, under the gun. Adrian, King 3, yeah, that's not going to play.
No, I can't imagine King 3 will play under the gun.
But 2 hearts.
Like Andrew says, only if they're suited.
Man, what a great justification, right? Oh man.
7 deuce. Oh, I'll play it. Oh, they're suited. Yeah.
So Adrian with the phone,
My
and
guy.
okay.
King Jack.
Seabass King Jack definitely gonna
Yep. Get a
steal.
raise.
And
try
now,
to steal.
in theory, you should be raising more than min here to try and
Yeah.
prevent the big blind from calling. That should be the spot where you're raising the largest to try and essentially steal, but also then it kind of depends on what. I mean, he's got 28.5 back,
Yep.
and he does shove there, which
Ooh,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't mind that shove at
No.
all. I don't mind that to try and put some pressure on
Yep.
that and really just trying to get a knockout.
Yep.
Honestly, I think that's
And
a
trying
great.
to scream. Cut. You want to run? All right.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's great. That is
paying the ultimate
that's
price.
that's a good move.
Yep.
That's a good move. Adrian's still with 30% of the chips at the table, but it's anybody's game. Even Brad and Jack, with one double up, can get themselves right
Yep.
into the fold.
43-1. You're 43-1. Second place is 33.
Somebody said, tell Adrian, Dan Zinga said, tell Adrian he needs to leave because it's his game. Jack 2 under the gun.
The gun under the gun. Not gonna play it. Full. Jack 10.
Jack 10 with the fold.
Interesting.
Okay. And Seabass will fold, and it's going to get a fold around. And if
Wow.
Mac Daddy probably would have gotten it down.
Yep.
But the big
I think
blind
if you raise there
play
with Jack
some
10, that gets through.
Defense.
You had me beat, Jack.
5 high is good. 5 high is good.
I had a good old 3 high. Love that. It's an excellent shoving here if you want to be balanced. Absolute bottom of your range.
That's what McCarthy say. If you're shoving aces, you should be shoving kings.
I think it's exactly how it
Pretty
is.
close one. About say 2 smaller stacks and 3 that are just about even.
We just need one big cooler, honestly.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of the point in the tournament where we're just waiting on that one big
Yeah.
cooler call.
That could
and
have
to
a
run it
double
out.
elimination or so. That's not gonna do it.
Yeah, that won't be it.
Mac Daddy not getting a hand there. Oop.
Jack with pocket tens on the button will go all in, and ace queen will
that's
also
gonna
probably
come back and
isolate.
call. Yep.
It's open.
This is when you reshuffle.
Yeah, you got to reshove over, trying to isolate and prevent the big blind from having any chance of defending.
Jack's all in.
17.6K.
And he might just call. I
Yeah.
mean, assuming it depends on who's on the big blind, really. Now all we need, Jeff, is a really, really sick
We
card.
need ace,
sick. We
king.
need like aces, ace, king, kings. Oh my God! Oh, he has aces.
Oh,
This is gonna get there's the cooler we were waiting for.
Okay, just
Tens versus ace
This is
queen versus
sick.
aces. This is getting in. There is no way.
Way.
And he's all in to call. So we have
Wow.
a three-way all in. Aces versus ace queen versus tens, and Brad is 77% favorite to double up.
Ooh.
No, just because I chipped
Huh.
I already lost 2,000 in the hand.
Man, I would love to see our reaction there. That is
Yeah.
unreal.
Wow.
Aces, ace queen, and
Insane.
tens.
Annie.
Unreal.
All right, here we go.
That's what I meant. I meant to be-
My, let's see their reactions to this.
And you have 7.
Yeah.
Man,
wow.
oh man, we could be
So-
seeing a double knockout if Adrian ends up coming in with the hearts. The
Hearts are alive.
alive.
So Brad and Jack are at risk.
Rip it slow here, folks. Here comes the flop.
We want some drama. There's a queen.
Queen 6 king.
Wow, okay,
Two
backdoor hearts.
diamonds. Two diamonds.
Okay.
I got excited when you did it. Started counting.
Plenty of backdoor stuff can happen
Yes,
here.
absolutely.
Well, that's not. Jacker 10.
Our video cut off there for a second, but it's back.
Jacker 10. It's a deuce.
It's a deuce. It's an
Wow.
absolute brickety brick.
Aces
And
hold.
Jack just runs into a truck. You know,
Wow.
sometimes Jeff, you're on a bicycle, and then a truck comes
Yep.
by, runs you over, and then a second truck going to the same address runs you over again.
Just
That was Brad. Brad was
puts
truck
us all
number
in the
2.
mood. Wow.
Brad was truck number 2.
So this is what.
Oh, baby.
So
Quadruple.
Was that a cooler?
Oh no, I think he has.
Guys.
So
Oh no.
Just told us we were a little ahead here.
don't 10, 16,
Yeah,
how about that?
wow.
So the knockouts. 2 knockouts? Okay. 17 points, so that's give him 34.80. And then you get this.
Okay, 34.
Oh, I mean, well, now Brad's right in the middle
Yeah.
of it. You know, here's the thing. I think Sebastian definitely
See,
has the.
I like Seabass,
Oh, I thought you meant like all the.
but I think
Oh, I'm mute. No. I'm not mute.
I don't know.
I think my money's on Adrian or Seabass.
You know, I think also though, I think Mac Daddy has the potential to
Oh, Mac
really
Daddy's- yeah.
run a big bluff, and he knows when to really pick his spots. I think he's been playing a little tight, especially
Yeah.
with Jack 10 there on a fold. I think it was either under the gun or +1. I think that was a little bit too tight, but Brad is certainly now in it, ran with. But I think it's going to be Mac Daddy or Sebastian,
Yeah.
one of those two.
Yeah.
Adrian's been playing well, but that's a big hit. So
It'll be interesting to see how Mac Daddy's table image goes here in this final, especially considering he's playing tighter. So
it'll be final 4. We're at
Right.
4 right
Yeah.
now because Adrian's still in, but I think Adrian might be. Adrian and Mac Daddy are now towards the bottom here. That is unreal.
Unreal.
wow.
So Jack thinking he gets it in at the right time on the button.
Some really crazy hands
And,
today
you know,
so
there you
far.
go. Man, it would have been funny, you know, honestly, if if he gets that double knockout, Adrian, that's 10 club points
Yeah.
plus a huge pot. I mean, that was giant. So, man, what a time to wake up with aces. What did I say? I was like, kings or something like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have that been a crazy card there? And boom, it comes right
We do
there.
have our confirmed
Aces.
payouts. We
Unreal.
have first place is getting 60, second place is 25, and third is 15 here today. The way we do it, we take our total prize pool. It's a $5 entry fee, and we cut 30% out from that, 20% for charity, 10% for our champions tournament at the end of the year, and then 70% is the prize pool. So good turnout today. We're always looking for more, which is why we're happy to have our guest commentators on here from Nebraska. Love it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, thank you for having us on.
This is fun.
Because we were playing hands
Yeah.
up here at our table, and I was just like, hey, let's just send him a comment and say hello. And you guys were going to be without a commentator, and we were like, well, we
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
We can set
We're
up.
usually without a commentator to start because we're all playing. So that's how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, let us know.
absolutely.
So,
Honestly.
yeah, we are more than happy to keep doing if you need this
Yeah.
if you need us.
Yeah.
So
we want the reps. We
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah,
have
and
fun with
after
it.
this stream, after this tournament closes to an end, we'll exchange contact information that we might not have.
Yeah.
and
yes.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
through all that. It'll be great.
Yeah, we had that for.
So we have two
Yeah.
more. I think 2 more tournaments remaining. We have our. We might only have one. We at least have our main event. I should know this. We have 2 tournaments.
We have the April tournament.
The April tournament, and
Late
then
April is
late
the-
April is the main event,
We
which
will
is
have
our
a
biggest
satellite as
event.
well.
And then the way we're doing our
Yeah,
champions.
we got a late April
Yeah.
main event
Yeah.
as well.
The way we're doing our champions is the top 10. It's going to be a 10 person final table. The top 8 are secured, and then
Oh,
for the
boy.
final 2 spots, we're playing a 2-table satellite, and the top 2 winners of that will fill in spot 9 and spot 10.
Oh, nice.
So we're trying to mix it up and give those people
We got
some
it
chances.
interesting right now.
Oh my.
Oh wow!
no!
Wow.
Oh man! Here comes another crazy one.
Oh wow!
Look at this. Ace Queen. Okay, then Brad with
This
6s,
is
and
about to
now
be some
Mac Daddy with
Queen.
queens. This is getting unreal. And did he just flat there? I think that's a
Yeah,
great
that is.
flat. Oh man! Are you
Oh,
serious?
a few seconds behind. Here's the flop. Wow!
We just had
Oh
2
my
of the
God.
most ridiculous hands we could see and check
check
it back
through?
and check through. I think
Wait, did
that's
Mac
very
Daddy
smart.
check?
Although
Mac Daddy
the
just
flush
flat
draw being
pre-flop?
out
He
there,
flat
that's a little
pre-flop, he
risky.
said.
But now you got to know that you're good.
Brad take a stab?
Sebastian's-
No, I think Brad checks.
Mac
I think Mac
Daddy's
Daddy
dead.
leads. Then Seabass might.
He has an
shove.
opportunity to trap
You need
him.
a 6 if you're Brad. Only 2 6s left, and Mac Daddy's absolutely
Oh,
dead.
Brad's gonna take a stab.
And Mac Daddy, you
He's
got to
gotta
think.
raise.
Oh,
Well, hold on.
he
no.
makes a fold with the 2 aces on board.
Wow.
That is an
Wow.
unreal sick fold.
Unreal.
That is sick. I mean, how can you think that you're not good there, at least partially with queen
That
when it
was
checks
a
back? But maybe you
crazy
just think
fold.
that Sebastian probably checked
Yeah, I
back
guess
and
he has Brad to thank there for
Upset.
leading out.
No, like that's
Yeah.
still a
Yeah,
crazy fold.
honestly, that
Brad,
gets him
if,
out
Yeah.
of the hand.
if Brad checks, I think. If Brad checks, I think Mac
Most
Daddy
likely.
leads, and Seabass might double the top, or at least just come with a big raise.
Well, now how do you play this if you're Seabass? Because you got to think that you're good.
course.
And I think you just call. If Brad's going to take this line of leading, I think you easily just flat call, rip off the river,
Yeah.
you know, and just see where you're at, because they're with top set. There's no way you can't think you're getting. Now club comes up, you could be scared about it, but
Yep.
I don't really think that's going to be the way it is. You'll see it looks like a min raise here,
Yeah.
7K.
Min raise to 7.
Is it 75?
Mhm.
7,500 was the raise, so 4K to call, and I think Brad, he might make it. So 4K.
It'd be sick if you tried to
So
re-raise.
4K or
What the
8.5K is the actual raise, and you're gonna have 5K to call into 26. I mean, we see that he doesn't have the equity
Well,
here.
it'd be interesting to see if Brad is putting Seabass on a draw with clubs,
Which you would,
and then
he would play it that way.
Yeah, and you could see Brad just coming over the top. He's just gonna flat.
Oh, and a 7 comes on the river, man. So the check
No
mark to
draws get there.
Sebastian.
Yeah, that's a good check. Seabass should lead out, and then
Safest run out.
And
of
Brad
range.
checks it smartly. Might have
Yeah.
just saved himself some chips.
yep,
I mean, no draws came in.
nope.
Sebastian's
Well,
probably
6-4 came in. No way.
No,
way.
no,
You have
no.
6-4. And Seabass will just shove.
Yep.
Trying to
And
get
that,
some value out of
That should be a full buy.
I actually I don't know if I
Brad's gotta fold
totally
now.
like the shove. I mean he's trying to set it up basically as a bluff
He's
Well, it's
on a
probably
close.
missed draw, right?
Because
if the pot
if he finds
was,
out about the queens thing.
I mean, it sounds like a value bet.
I mean it does look like value. I mean you only have 20K behind, right? And still
Yeah.
shoving does make the most sense,
Yeah.
but you also got to think, you know, Seabass is only losing to 5s, 3s, 7s, or
Yeah.
you know, there's ace rag could be possible
Yeah.
here that Brad continue with. You know, your ace 5's probably not going to happen. Again, you block so many combinations
Yeah.
of any ace rags. There's only one left, so
But the thing here with the way Seabass has played this, it looks like a busted draw.
I think that's the good way of playing it. I think the other thing too is that, you know, you're preventing him from making just
Yeah.
the flat with how big his stack is. You could have probably bet maybe 10, 15K and gotten a flat here. You could have bet that, and, you know, if he shoves you all in, then it's an easy call, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you only have 5K back. So now you've put him in a tougher spot for half his stack, and
Yep.
you've given him some fold, equity. When
So-
you have the best hand, you want to
Yeah.
deny him a little bit of fold equity, right? Because there's no draws here.
Yeah.
There's no draws that he could have hit. There's no way he has
See,
6-4.
if I'm Brad, I'm thinking he either has the ace or this is a busted draw.
And it looks like a smile and a fold here. He's got his cards in his hands.
Looks like he's gonna make the smart fold.
You just gotta flick it. Just flick it. That's all you gotta do. You're good. Just flick it. You know you're not good. Gone. Goodbye. Let it go. It's pocket 6s. He's probably got you if he's shoving all in. And good fold.
Good fold.
muck.
Good fold
Good
for
fold.
Brad.
Good muck. Absolutely. And Seabass, there you go again, continuing to crush it. Will definitely jump into the chip lead.
Still can't believe Mac Daddy getting away with those queens there. I mean, Sebastian is
was
wishing he
insane.
calls,
That was nuts.
hoping. Yeah.
Get it in pre and then Sebastian would hate his life pre-flop.
Yeah, Mac Daddy could have easily raised pre.
Technically, Sebastian should have.
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
if Brad checks with those 6s, I'm sure Mag Daddy will take
Yes.
a pro bet there and take a stab at it.
Like
So-
I could have seen, Mac Daddy then with the check from Brad lead out, and then
And
a
then
big raise
then
by Seabass.
Seabass could have raised. You know, he could have raised there just as a min, just like he did with Brad.
Yeah.
Brad will make the fold. I think Mag Daddy could have made a call there.
Yeah.
He might have, especially if you put him on a draw.
Yep.
He probably makes a call with queens there compared to Brad, who has an easier spot with 6s. Now, Miko said Sebastian will never raise the turn with a draw. He would call in position. No draw makes sense because he'll never check back the flop with 2 clubs and then raise the turn over a bet. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes only
Yeah.
value hands there. And that's just knowing the player, right? You know,
Yeah.
knowing that Sebastian's not gonna going to check raise there with the draw. But other players, I think, would check raise with a nut flush draw in that spot. You may check raise the nut flush draw. You also may check with some of your worst draws sort of as a bluff, because maybe you just call with, like, if you have a king X of clubs, right? You're just going to call there knowing that you have the nut flush. But let's say you have like 7-6 of clubs, you probably would check raise to try and fold out 2 pairs or something like that. So no, yeah, Miko, you got it right on the money. And 779 here, Seabass on the big blind with 9-3, banks it, and you'll see a lead out and an insta call.
Yep, I think you flat here.
It's still 1-2-2.
Two and a half to call. I was gonna say he was shoving out a giant stack of chips, and I was worried what he was thinking about there. Just call,
Yeah,
just call,
It's a
easy
good
call.
flat. Yep.
Only 3 outs and a queen on the turn. You check this if you're Mac Daddy out of position.
Yeah, he definitely calls. I think you see what he does here. Yep.
Good check. Seabass may check this back, may bet it.
May want to bet this.
2 hearts out there.
See.
Back, I don't know. Probably not likely that Mac Daddy's gonna have the backdoor flush.
Yep.
Puts out a bet, I think, of 3.7. 3.7.
Not a huge bet.
Not huge. Trying to get some value out of your maybe ace highs, maybe some lower pocket pairs.
Yep.
Good fold
Good
there.
fold, Mac Daddy.
Discipline.
Name of the
Sebastian
game.
continuing to
Poker.
chip up. He had 36% of the chips in play, I know, at the end of the last hand, so he's making a good run here towards the finish line.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah, really some run good for him and good play.
We are on the money bubble.
Almost had himself in a bad spot. I mean, you got to think he was in a spot where if he called Jack's shove with King 10 and he's behind to lose that one, he could have easily been at about 10 big blinds. But there he goes from about 15, 16K behind to the chip leader. That's just sort of the thing there.
Yeah, that can happen very easily in these
Most
tournaments. We've noticed that towards the end.
Now, what do you think about the check raising on the turn? Miko saying that most players should be doing that because bluff raising the turn with the draw is never folding out an ace. A card Brad can easily have. Brad could have that, but I have to go back. You have to think what was the action there if Brad. Well, let's see. Brad probably raised. Was he in position or small blind with pocket sixes, or was he
He was
button?
out of position. He was.
Was he button with pocket sixes?
Was that 2 hands ago? He would either bet.
I thought
It was
he really
3-way.
out.
I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, you're not going to fold out an ace,
Yeah.
but you also have to think, if there's an ace there, you could be getting a lot bigger value if you think somebody has an ace and you have the bad draw, right? You don't want to be doing it with your king high club. If you have king blank of clubs and know you have the net flush draw, especially you don't think Sebastian has. It was a 5. Oh,
Wow.
big flop here for Adrian. Jack ace ace.
I think I noticed before the hand, Adrian didn't think he was big blind, so he was gonna fold.
Sebastian putting pressure on Adrian now. Now we've noticed knowing the player is definitely very important in these tournaments. We play a lot of games with each other. Adrian is our dark horse.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
We-
That's the same for us. And adding some
Well, look
outs
at
here.
that.
For
First time we've
Seabass
seen
after
Adrian.
9 outs. So for Adrian, is this his first time at the final table?
It might be
time
his
in
first
the
time
club, or is he just
playing in the club. I'm not positive, but it's certainly his first time at the final table. Sebastian's final tabled many.
First
Yeah,
time final
Brad's
table.
been there before, and I
I
believe Mac Daddy might have finaled the table as
like-
well. So these players know each other, but
I said, oh, he's
And
gonna
a
fold
king
it.
wow.
holds it.
I
Hmm,
can't
interesting.
believe he let that go.
And
Wow.
what was the bet was maybe like 5K.
But again, that's just knowing your opponent right there. by
Yes,
Seabass.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Putting the pressure on, and
just knowing that he's going to be folding to a lot of C
Yeah.
bets.
I think Sebastian's in a great position here to scoop this tournament if he keeps playing discipline and picking up those lucky hands.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think
needs to-
I think he just needs to avoid
Yeah,
some big hands here.
Yeah, I think you just got to avoid trying to bluff to really
Yeah.
steal something with the bluff too.
He doesn't necessarily need to fold his way to heads up
Right.
here.
Because
But
especially
I
with how
think-
big the blinds are,
yeah.
you can't really fold
You
your
can't.
way.
Yeah.
You
heads
have to
up.
make a move
But
eventually.
just-
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Yep.
was just asking, like, I knew the button was on there. I just wanted to make sure that I had exactly.
Normally, we do have some post interviews after people have been eliminated. No one has seemed to care to stick around just yet, but I'm positive once Sebastian's
Everybody
out,
wants
or
to get out.
even Brad might pop in. Not
Yeah.
sure.
I'm pretty sure the top three also would need
Okay.
regardless.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
the top three.
Yeah, I like this raise. King 9 suited from the button. At position.
And so raise from the button, and you're going to get a call from
Yep.
big blind here from Brad.
Queen Jack. That's a call.
Waiting on him. He's got 2.7 back, and he takes his headphones out, and now maybe he's thinking about. Is he thinking about a shove here? I mean, it's a little bit. He's got a little bit too big of a stack, maybe. But
Yeah. I don't know if you do. I think you call and see a flop. But yeah, again, you can put. With the blinds being this high, I don't know if exactly Seabass has thrown out a raise in position with bad cards.
no, probably not. I mean, you are going to have wider ranges at four-handed.
Yeah.
Just play the game. Just take that.
I think that's a call.
Said Brad's trying to watch basketball. He's not going to give an interview. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I do not blame you for that. Do not blame.
I believe that was a call.
So he
Fold
does
on Mac
call.
Daddy.
That calls, right?
Flop comes 3, 4, 6. Absolute brick
Brick.
city. 3 diamonds out there, and Seabass can
Yeah,
easily
really
probably
gets
c-bet here and get a fold.
Yeah.
Especially with the raise, there's definitely
Yeah.
going to be a lot of diamonds, or at least ace of diamonds possibly that Seabass going to have. and
Yep, and there's
can't
yes,
even
some
get
up.
it into the muck any quicker than that.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What happened?
He did what he usually does with his laundry. He folds.
Oh, brother Jeff, come on. So there you go, Sebastian. Now with almost half the
Wow.
chips at the table, that is ridiculous. How quickly this thing has turned his way. I think the rest of the table has to realize that you just got to shove and get
Now
a
at
double
this
up.
point, you got
2.4 is the big blind with a 2.4 big blind Annie.
These guys, yeah.
So really, you got Seabass, or you got a Mac Daddy in the position really to shove probably at some
I
point.
think most of all of them around 20K.
Yeah,
Maybe
everybody's
Brad's
gonna make a
than
shove
that.
spot. Yep.
The point where they need to shove, game a little, and get some double ups here to get back into it.
Well, yeah, you either have to try and get a double up from somebody else.
Mhm.
People are demanding an interview from Adrian, and I think that would be good to kind of get an idea who he is. Played very well to this point. Got himself. I mean, you had the one hand where Mac Daddy basically bluffed him off the best
queen.
hand, but real tough spot even then with the diamond coming on the river. Kind of taking advantage of the newcomer, but there you go again. He made a nice call on the 3-bet shove. Adrian will limp in and finds in the small blind Brad with ace 10. Now I think
don't know.
you gotta definitely
Consider
raise.
shoving, yeah. Don't know if you.
Can you ISO out? Adrian probably not. He's not going to call if you ISO him out,
No.
especially when limped in. And a fold on the big blind because I'm assuming that's a raise coming from Brad. Now
Yeah.
Adrian will make the fold and submit.
5-3. Oh, it doesn't call.
Doesn't call. Adrian burning 2.4. Doesn't help him. Mac Daddy is the short stack of the table
Yep.
down to 6 big blinds.
Yep. So Adrian McDaddy need to pick their spot here.
Brad with that big one is the only real
Winning
person
close.
to challenge. And now apparently we have somebody that has exclusive insider information on Adrian's origin story. We'll be waiting to hear
Interesting.
from that.
Yes.
Interesting to hear Adrian's origin story and how he came about to get to our final table down to 4-handed. And here come the cards Our final blind level is 2 and 4, and Adrian will not be happy to look at Queen 4.
I got what? What do you mean? He's got 4 queens.
That's right. 4. I have all 4 of the queens in my hand. Brad with the Dolly Parton will fold it, and Mac Daddy's like, well, I'm not shoving with that, so I'm
Yep.
going to fold it, and was going to run and do a truck.
Yep.
Very good.
So now exactly 50% of all chips in play.
Are you back again? You good?
Still with the same levels.
Keith, you could keep. The left one is this. And this one. You don't freeze, right?
Alright, I lost my bounty chip. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's in there.
I don't know if I just missed it. Take that book.
I wonder which game Brad's gonna watch.
2400.
Hey, you do wonder, what will Brad be watching tonight for March Madness?
Texas Tech and Gonzaga.
Sebastian,
Yep, where's Black Hawk?
did you make
Could be. Good
Well,
game. A lot of
he's
good games.
probably
There's
gonna-
so many good games that you can watch.
He's probably gonna watch the game longer with Queen 3. With 3 queens, he's got to fold.
Yeah, got to fold 3 queens.
how
Fold and Mac Daddy.
do they not tell you? Like,
Nope.
how does it work?
Basically, if only.
Oh, we
the
got a
top
limp
12
in.
So yeah, especially with all the added points and prize pool stuff, and for the main event, it's definitely it adds a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on these players for playing for a lot more than just the win tonight. Playing for points, you're playing for the prize pool.
Okay, big tournament.
5-4.
And so Seabass called, and Adrian checking kind of sneakily
Wow.
with the ace-10.
Interesting.
But will he find himself in a tough spot? Let's see. We're trying to look at see what the flop is here. We got a paint card, and it looks like 2 deuces. Is it
Yeah.
Jack, deuce, deuce?
Two diamonds.
2 of diamonds, king of spades, 2 of clubs, I think is
2
what
of
it is.
clubs, king of spades, 2 of diamonds.
Because, yeah, the board's not really scanning out right.
It says the 2 of clubs and the
There it is, yeah. Yeah, so I don't find a position.
Yeah.
That's right.
Someone was like, it was like on
He
the
bets. Do you come over the top and just shove?
People get exit
Nope.
interviews. And they're like, oh, maybe Brad will get one. So I'm trying to think Brad's trying to
And
work
Seabass
Brad's gonna be in the video, lol.
betting out, and Adrian
I took it down anyways.
with the fold, even on a limp end, didn't want to play it.
Yeah, I might have liked to shove over the top.
And there you go.
Is that the stream?
Yeah.
Apparently, Adrian spent many suns and moons practicing his exquisite Adrian style via Red Dead Redemption. I think
Ha.
that's a good way to practice. But
That's a good game, by the way.
I think Sebastian kind of has. It's good to have, maybe it's good to have Adrian on your left
Yeah.
because you're able to c-bet donk out. C-bet out of position. And, I mean, not really c-bet, but donk
based
out of
on that-
position.
yeah.
And based on the way that he's played, he's
He's
going to
not-
be folding a lot of the time.
Unless
to
he
a
has the
donk.
nuts or really has a nut,
Yeah, I said
As
nut
the
draw.
equity of it,
He's not. He's not gonna call.
He's not gonna. He doesn't flow with ace high
Yeah.
there.
this is the last.
I would have liked to shove there on
Last hand of 12-24.
the flop there over the top.
16-32.
I mean, I don't know if you can though. Like, I mean, you're only trying to catch a bluff. But I probably would have liked to raise on the big blind.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna fold out the junk that the small blind's just gonna limp in with.
Well, it
And
folds
fold
around.
around. Everybody loves to fold around, man. Everybody loves to fold around.
Well,
Sure is.
Alright, blind
4 big blinds for Adrian, 6 for Mac Daddy.
16-32.
My favorite nickname is Close to Elimination.
Somewhere near.
This game really steep right now.
Adrian's also in a tough spot with only 4 big
Yeah.
blinds.
The people are demanding an interview from Adrian.
Yeah, that's my
Stop here.
Seabass looking down to Jack 3 under the gun.
Yeah.
Easy fold. Adrian
Hey.
9 deuce. That ain't a shove.
He has another one before.
Brad
the blind.
8-3, and Mac Daddy might play some defense here with the fold around. Will Brad try to bluff, shove them all in? No, he does limp in, and easy, and
Yeah,
he just
all in,
burned
and
chips
there's a
there.
fold.
Nice job from Mac Daddy to shove it in with the King 9 and get a little bit more of that dead money in the middle. Adding a couple, adding now just a big blind to his stack because the blinds have been raised again to 1.6, 3.2.
I believe the
They-
second to last.
Yeah, because it'll be 2-4 to end
Yep.
it. So we're getting down to it here, folks. Somebody's going to have to take a shot. Adrian now with only 3 big blinds, and he'll be under the gun. And so 9-6, I think, almost with it suited,
Yeah, might have some equity or shove.
might do it. He's thinking. Is he just going to flat here? This would be.
Ugh.
I mean, you're just trying to see a flop for cheap, but I think this is a mistake. I think if you have a hand of any sort of equity, you just got to shove it.
Yeah.
He's only got about 2-ish behind, and Mac Daddy will fold. And giving Sebastian the option is the tough part here, and he might find a spot. Just
Okay,
Jack 3. I
okay.
mean, you've given him a chance to draw for it,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
there's a
there's a jack.
jack. But an 8-6, so he's got some equity, and you have to think Seabass is going to donk
Yep.
all in here,
Yep. Put them all in.
and he does.
Yep.
And this is the spot where you needed to shove before because you're going to get a fold out of Jack 3. And you're burning chips at this point. I don't find a way where you can't call here.
Yeah. And
And
he's
he
gonna fold.
folds.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
that's the tough part. You could be facing a draw there, but you let Seabass get there.
Yep.
Tough there.
Had to shove. And now he finds himself really in a bad spot with only 2 big blinds where almost you're at the point, really, the ranges say almost any 2
Yeah.
cards you shove with.
Nice. Dinner for 2.
You're absolutely right.
Good job, guys. Shit, I'm gonna have 2 5s.
Providing good entertainment value for your corporate machine.
Yeah,
I got it. We will
How
never
many tips
pay
you guys up to
back.
now? Zero?
We don't pay our
How many
ass
tips you guys up to now? Zero?
Tips?
Yeah.
Like what kind of tips?
Like there's tips in the stream.
Oh, really?
Let's make sure to tip your streamers, tip your waitresses.
I only have
Always a good thing.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Tip your waiter.
8-3.
8-3.
Gonna see a
Chip
fold.
it in the chair. That's right, Jansen did say all you need is a chip in the chair. Brad under the gun. And so there's the problem too. Is now Adrian's on the big blind, so he's got the ante plus the big blind, and he's going to be basically pretty much blind all in for the most
Fold
part.
Jack 10.
8 deuce for Sebastian with only 1.6 to call, waiting to get this big blind ante and big blind into the pot.
Mac Daddy folded Jack 10 off. A little surprising there. Well, you got 2 players behind you, but
And so Seabass, I think you're going to have to push him on. And he's dominated, obviously. You're going to try and get him to get out and force him into a draw. But there you go again. I think the mistake started with Adrian not shoving with 9-6.
Alright, can you pass me one back?
And so all in, Jack 10.
I believe Mac Daddy did fold a Jack and a 10.
Now Seabass 32% pre-flop. And King 3-9 does absolutely brick this.
Nothing.
Nobody's got any black cards, so we're only looking for an 8 or a deuce. An ace on the turn
Nothing.
does not do it. Only an 8 or a deuce to knock Adrian out, and it's a 5. And Adrian will make the double up and defend his big blind well there and get back up, I think, to about 12K.
Defense.
Defense. Defense. Okay. So a lot of fun here, but we're just waiting on somebody to get knocked out. Seabass, I mean, obviously he only had a couple, 1K behind, basically. So you kind of had to shove there to try and draw out. Don't mind it at all. Now the question is, will he try to do that again on the small blind, or on the button rather?
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool origin story.
Yeah.
Probably. I figured it would just be like.
I thought they were just gonna say nothing.
Yeah, no, I thought it was just gonna be something like really dumb. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, they did have exclusive insight.
Tell us how the
They had VIP access.
I didn't know.
Brad, before I forget, do you want
Yeah, practice. So you practice poker on Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is Red
The
Dead.
game,
Yeah,
yeah,
on there.
and that's actually pretty fun. And comes to BU Poker Club and works it together and gets himself to the final 4.
It should say
Alright, so we'll just tell them it has about like 21.
Tell you what though, those dang computers. They only really bet if they have the nuts.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Can't bluff the computers.
I don't know the exact.
Yeah.
Just say that.
I think they also call with some ridiculousness, though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's legit.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna start doing that.
What are we at? 24.
Make sure it
We
was
have 32.
Yes,
Yeah.
1632.
1632.
How long we
I'm
got?
trying to represent the flush.
Sick hands going.
And you're calling with
Mac
2s?
Daddy under the gun, and he's going to face a 6.4 hit to his stack
No.
in just a moment. 8-5. Gonna fold. Adrian, Queen Deuce. Will just fold it and give Brad with pocket
Pocket
3s.
Hmm.
Doesn't have to
I'll take any hand.
realize his equity. He'll just take down and defend.
At this point, I think if you get a face card, you gotta shove.
Is
if you're Mac Daddy or Adrian.
Yeah. Face card is good, probably, especially an ace. If you have an ace, you got to shove.
Yeah.
You can get them out.
Damn.
Oh, whoops, hold on.
Me?
It's you shut them down.
Yeah.
You say I have?
No, Sebastian.
Oh yeah, he's unbelievable, man. He's more than all of us combined.
Hold on.
Like,
Not
of
by
course.
four.
Yeah, I think our sometimes the camera goes off.
I think you have 58%. It said.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's good to know.
Fucking him up.
And small blind for number 16.
Yep. Cam, I use an Elgato Cam link, and it's really easy to just download it. So,
Ooh.
65.
okay. Boom.
There's a raise.
Raise to 6.5. Adrian with 8-7.
It's basically all in the call.
Adrian's online.
Good luck, fellas.
He
Yep.
does go on, and I like this
9-4,
spot here to
that's
try and
not
force
gonna
the people
call.
out. And
Nah.
Jack Deuce will get it out, and this
Here we
is
go.
an easy call from Seabass
It says 3.9.
with only 3.9 behind. Can Adrian do it again and double up this time? Barely behind.
Yep.
Ace Deuce is only a basically 6%
Yeah.
advantage.
That's all that matters. 2 life cards.
Yeah, see, it's
So we'll see if the Red Dead Redemption guru can knock out Seabass, who's been training himself on poker websites with the big stack, does make the call.
Good luck.
And so we'll find himself behind, but with equity.
Yep.
Let's see. Will the flop make the difference?
Bet you either of us roll this hand.
Here comes
Nice.
a flop of
Possible, but- Okay,
Never mind.
Ace, 7, King. So there you go again. Adrian's not dead, but now only 20% to double up. The turn is a 4, which doesn't help him. Needs an 8 or 7. 5 outs to the river, and a 9, and that is it. Close one, but no cigar, and Adrian is gone in 4th place.
I was like, I need to fade some clubs.
Good hand. I like the shove anyway, but
Yep.
it was just time to go, and there you go, shipping more chips to the chip leader, and now Mac Daddy is the next one that's going to have to shove, and I'm sure Brad is not very happy
So.
about seeing more chips go towards
Yeah.
Sebastian.
10, anything?
Just running over this final table here as of late.
125 and
Started from behind and then just sped all the way up to the giant chip lead. Probably has about 66% at least of the chips
Yeah.
at the table.
Honestly, Sebastian, I'm letting you know right now, if we get stuff too, I'm going all in every hand.
Are there exit?
He's run good and make some disciplined folds.
And Brad, I think, might have just said he's going to just go all in every hand. 'Cause he might want to just get out and go watch basketball,
Yeah.
which I don't blame him. But
He's only got 12 big blinds.
could be interesting. Will Seabass take the bait?
But say if Brad is able to get the double up,
That's a big double up. We're
That
basically back
is.
to even. So we'll see what happens, folks. You know, I don't mind the all in every hand Gus Hansen strategy.
Yep.
This is the last hand in 1632.
Is it actually, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, no, it is.
So Adrian's going to come in here for us, finishing in 4th place.
I thought I peeled Pierce.
Did you get the pause?
Probably have him sit here.
Is that
Hello?
Adrian?
Hi.
Oh,
You can sit here.
Hey, what's up? How
Doing
you
well, a
doing?
little tired, but overall doing pretty well.
Yeah, you don't have to talk that close, buddy.
Doing pretty well. How do you feel like you played today? Because you end up coming basically as a newbie, correct? You were a newbie to club, and you run all the way to 4th place. How did
I
that
felt
feel?
pretty amazing. Like I was not expecting like anything to go this far, but the cards were just in my favor today for the most part.
Now, is this your first time like playing live poker? Have you played live poker previously?
Yeah, like basically I've played a lot like online, like through my phone, through even like through Red Dead Redemption, as seen in the chat. But we also play like at our house, like 8 to 10 of us, just like easy going. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But like
Now, how did this experience for you differ?
this was very different mainly because I was playing with people that I've never even talked to before. Because people who I play with in real life are people who I'm like really comfortable with, people who I've known for a really long time. So just playing with like all different kinds of like strangers, I really had to just like figure out how these people played and like how to take advantage of it, I guess. Yeah.
Now, let's go back. There was one hand I was really interested in, which was the one where Mac Daddy basically 3-barreled you, and you had a queen, you had ace
Okay.
queen, and he 3-barreled all in. Did you know what he
I
had
did
there?
not know what he had there. No.
So he actually, we'll tell you because you'll be able to watch. But he had queen 5.
Oh.
So you
Oh
had,
yeah, we had.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was it was really tough. But the third diamond came in. Did you put him on a flush?
No, like I was really I remember this play when I saw the 3 of diamonds. I got very scared with it, but I just kept going, went along, and it worked out. I think.
Overall, so obviously, I'm sure you got to be coming back.
Oh,
for
of
another
course,
Gold Glove,
definitely.
I'm sure. What do you think you're going to change about your game to try and improve and maybe get to that heads up final?
I think I'm gonna prove that like I'm gonna be less afraid to do higher bets. I think because a lot of the time when players call, I mean, besides that one where I lost like 17,000, but besides that, like I was very like lenient on like when people said like, oh, call 10,000 or 5 or 8,000 stuff, and I would just like fold right away. So I think that's something I would change.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I can understand. Just trying to be a little bit more sticky, hang around. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. But played really well, man. It was very, very enjoyable to watch you play, and we hope to see you back here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Adrian.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, yeah, you
thanks.
too. All right, so that was Adrian. Good to watch him. Mac Daddy getting the double up here. I think he had like 10 deuce or 10-6 facing 8-4, was it? 8-4, and he got the double up. So
I believe he got it from Brad.
Did he get it from Brad? I thought he got it from Sebastian. I think Sebastian called.
I
Although I'm not
well,
sure.
I don't believe so because Brad is now down to 23K.
No, that's Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy got the double up.
Yes, but I believe he got it from Brad.
Oh, sorry. Somebody wanted to ask about the 2-pair call. I was going to ask him about that. But that was a pretty... I don't know. Was that a flush board, though? I don't think... Was that a flush board?
I thought the 2.
No, that's Mac Daddy.
No, because wasn't there a club draw out there?
Hey, what's up,
Plus-
guys?
No,
I'm
that was-
gonna put this back up here.
I don't think there was a... Was there a flush on the 3 to a flush board?
Okay, I'll put some.
the 2 of
And we
hearts.
got an all-in from,
Same hand.
from Seabass, and it's going to probably be a call from Brad with ace-10. And we're going to be seeing a chop here unless we have a really, really wacky board.
Yep.
3-bet jam when the third heart hit on the river.
Well, yep.
Oh, yeah. So this is what was your name again? Oh, gosh. So he called with 2 pairs, so he jammed on he 3-bet jam with pocket 4s. This is the guy right here. So I guess I'm gonna turn it around on you. What were you thinking when what were you going through? Tommy, sorry, I was like a T name, can't remember your name.
Yep.
So Tommy, what were you thinking when you wanted to 3-bet jam there? Because that's definitely tough to try and to get through on a 3-bet jam on the river, especially when you see him raise on you. Why did you choose to do that?
Damn right I'm not happy.
Wait for his response. But that was really my interesting thing was why did you choose to 3-bet jam with the pocket 4s?
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Good game.
You guys want to sit a little closer?
No, I think I remember back there. I don't know if there was a flush.
I don't think there was.
No,
I don't
I
think
didn't
there
think there
was. I think it was just an absolute brick because I think it was like a deuce of diamonds and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Did not complete any draws
Nope.
whatsoever. So
It's final 2.
It's on me, bro. I folded.
I'm a little small blind.
So Brad on the small blind with 8-6 and Jack 10 is going to be an all-in,
Yep.
obviously 19K. And when we see a call here with 8-6, you're going to have some equity.
So give me 2.
What's that stack?
What?
What's that stack?
That's his small line. Give me 2.
And so Brad is getting a count here. And honestly, 8-6, I mean, is on the edge. It's kind of tough to call an all-in
Yeah.
from the big blind, but you are suited. You could be crushing. If you got something like overcards, you could end up hitting some boards to sort of catch these. He's
Yeah.
going to lay it down. That's a smart one. He's like, yeah, I think this is one to lay down. I'm interested to hear from Tommy what he thought
I'm solidifying my yellow section on the.
and what his thought process was with the pocket 4s. We're waiting on his response. I'm sure he's typing out his long
Yes.
his thought process, which we're totally okay with.
13, 14s.
Good stuff, guys.
Take your
Staff is gonna reach the roof.
3-handed here at the March Madness Night Tournament. At least everybody's guaranteed, I believe, 15. So here's what Tommy said. I could easily have a flush there, play it the same way I would have a flush draw. The only thing that he can beat is a bluff. I'm only jamming flushes, maybe some sets and bluffs. But I honestly don't remember there being a third card to a flush.
No, I don't think there was a flush. I think all draws were busted.
First is Tommy, right?
That's why I would go back. I mean, we could go back and check
Look,
and
yeah.
thing, but I honestly don't think the flush came. I think it was there might have been like a 2-heart board and it was
Yeah.
a diamond on the river, but
Yeah, that should cover the gap.
and you knew he didn't have a flush because you wouldn't. He said he wouldn't have bet a flush draw based on other hands I've seen from him. That's true, but with 2 pair,
It's 2K4.
I mean, he said he wouldn't have jammed 4-4 on a dry board. I mean, it's tough. I understand where you're coming from, like that you would be jamming. There are 3 hearts for sure. So yeah, it makes more sense
Okay,
if there
yeah.
were 3 hearts. I couldn't remember because I didn't think. So
Good shit.
he's almost getting 2-to-1 odds too.
Dude, when you had queens,
Yeah, so it was basically a min 3-bet shove if I remember right, because it was only about 6.7K a call.
thank Brad for,
Yeah,
for
'cause
betting that.
Yeah, no, if you did bet, I'm shoving it on
Yeah,
flop.
yeah.
I hated that.
I think you can flat maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you wouldn't flat obviously because you basically you don't have any equity there to what he had. But
I don't like my odds on that
When the
stuff.
flop came out, he was like, oh, so we knew he had
what does he
ace.
beat
So he's
other
like,
than a
one,
bluff? I mean, you rivered the 2 pair, but I'd have to go back and look at the board.
Adrian was
Yeah, I
so
can.
excited.
Yeah, we need to take a look.
Yeah, I'd have to review the hand again for me really to give you an answer. I mean, it just depends on the way you play it. I think you could be absolutely right when you do it that way, but
For me, because I knew he didn't have an ace.
when you
so I wasn't
lead
sure
out there
if it was the river.
on the river only for a small bet, I mean, you're trying to get him
Yeah, he knew he was good.
hopefully to fold out, but when he raises with the pocket 4s, you have to think that you're beat. And so would you really lead out that? Would you lead out a flush for only, I think you only let out for 3K
Yeah.
into a small pot. Would you do that with your flushes? That's my question. Is would you rather just try to shove and make it look like a bluff? Because if you really have the flush there, wouldn't you just shove all in and try to fold out some of the other hands that he could have? Fold out some aces?
4.5K to be exact.
So 10-3-10 on this board. So we're waiting kind of on his response from Tommy and a fold there. Easily from Brad on a whiff
Yeah.
board. A nice bluff there from Seabass. Did have the backdoor flush draw.
Jake, what I had that hand? Do you remember?
Not worth it to him.
You said I left over there.
Jack something.
Was it Jack 8?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to really look back at the
Yeah.
process of that hand to like really give my solid thoughts. We're at 2 and 4K by the way with the 4K big blind. We're not getting any higher than this.
Wow.
I mean, it also could be. Could you have played that same way with top pair? I mean, because I don't know if the ace came until did the ace come in the turn? Or was it on the flop?
It was on the flop.
Yeah. So,
Sebastian got it against
I mean, he's obviously going to be calling with some sort of
Yeah.
pair on that board.
Yeah.
Two comes on the river.
I got in that head against him earlier, and he had won.
Yeah, I would really have to go back and look at that
Yep.
in order to like give you a solid answer. But for me, you know, the 3-bet, I think the odds first off were too good for him not to call, considering that he was pot committed with the raise anyway. Like he's got 6K to call, to depending on the pot, and I feel like it was a fairly large pot. I don't know if he ever really finds a fold there,
No.
considering that I mean, if you check your flush, if you check in thinking trying to represent a flush and he leads out with 2 pair, then you shove over him.
Yep.
Then maybe he has some fold
No,
equity.
I probably have to have a better hand for that. Feel good about that.
Good
Nico
action.
thinking it was a great bluff, and that kid wasn't
Those boys are happy to help.
good. And he never folding a hand like 2 pair.
And they're definitely down.
I mean, it was I think it was a good bluff. I mean, but it just
Yeah.
depends on like the action beforehand, because it's not just like the 3-bet bluff.
You see me?
You know,
I'm all in.
on that board, Mac Daddy shoving with 5s and getting Seabass to fold 7-3, a 3-gapper.
He has 6-6.
Nah, I have less than.
No.
Yeah, that's true. He doubled up, right?
You have more
I mean, yes, that's true, but also,
More than double.
you know, in that situation when I have 2, like if I were to have 2 pair on that board, the flush coming in on the river. I mean, in the other situation where Mac Daddy did bluff shove on the river, that was the right time to do it when the flush came in. It wasn't to lead out small and then 3-bet bluff over.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of max fold equity when you shove right away versus you lead out and you 3-bet shove and he basically only has half of what you had left to call.
Yeah.
Versus you shove for 13 right there and he has more fold equity.
Yep.
for his 2 pair. He would probably fold. He would have a better chance to fold, I should say. He may not fold 2 pair there ever because he could be just looking at his hand. But I think you give him the most fold equity if you just shove right away. That's the way. That's where I have like this contingency with the way the hand was played. The 3-bet over the top. Are you going to be representing a flush that way?
Yeah.
You know,
We'll chop second.
that along with the pot odds and his whether or not he's pot committed, I think makes it a call most of the time.
Let's say now if you had,
I've only played him one.
if you actually had the flush, that might be a better way to play it. Not shove right away.
No, yeah, I mean,
But
that's
with
true.
being with a bluff, you might have just shoved right away.
I didn't get anywhere last game.
Yeah, especially like, you know,
Champions.
Champions, yeah.
So
does everyone get paid
it is a bluff. Do you bet more?
oh, no,
Do you bet more though? Like,
should be. We had
It's a
sets,
free
we
roll.
know,
It's
back
literally a
and
free
forth.
roll.
It's a free roll.
Brad is all in with 7-4
Brad's all in.
and just decided to show the bluff.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get a shit. I can't keep giving away my
And so
small
Seabass still dominating this table, has both of them covered. You kind of
Yeah.
wonder, will there be a point where if Seabass,
You can
are
get
they,
a couple-
are we
they
going
say
to get a
two good
three-way
hands
all
there,
in?
yeah.
That's kind of the thought.
10-3. Nice hands.
We gotta have them figure out
Just basically with it.
I should have had my balls into my 10.
how lower is your.
Hence been my
like,
hand.
go to winning
My card
if
for
you
that.
start at the beat.
So Brad will be on the button,
'Cause that's kind of
and he'll. It's kind of when you're 3-handed.
Yeah.
You want to kind of let things go. You can have a better range on the button, and considering that you don't have it now, King 7 on the button, you might see a shove from it.
Yep.
action. Yeah, I'm saying, do you think there's less action here though?
Oh,
Who knows, right? It depends.
yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
makes
wow,
a
okay.
fold. Makes a little bit of a fold there. I don't mind the fold, but I
Yeah.
almost think it's kind of a shove. And
Probably
back
would've
day
got
will fold.
through.
It probably would have gotten through.
Yeah.
And so Seabass will continue on. And who it might have been back to that's when is the last time anybody had an ace? That's a great
Yeah.
question. I have no clue.
I think like about 5-6 hands ago it was A6 against
When I and Brad had
Brad at A6 and Seabass bluffed with like a 10-10-3 board.
5-4 on the
Were you all in?
board.
Yeah.
Were you all in?
I was all in, he tanked, called, and then
Chop
we
it
had
up.
this way.
Anyone have suited?
No.
I did have a chance.
We had four loose suits, so I had two free suits, he had two.
I got 2 of them on the flop.
He had 2 of the clubs and then
Didn't get any more.
what was it?
Those are. I feel like if you have the same hand.
So we've been at it, I think, a couple hours here, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Should straight up be a chop.
Big thank you to Binghamton Poker Club
Yes.
for allowing us to commentate here today. That's a lot of fun. But this one should be and Mac Daddy folds
Oh,
something, dude.
man.
Seabass on and runs
Wow.
into a truck.
This could really change things right here. Oh,
Oh, hold on.
depends.
I was gonna say Seabass. I didn't think he had 9-3. This is we did this wrong because we got jacks versus tens.
10 diamonds,
Wow.
10 clubs.
just
Alright,
dominated.
diamonds One time.
So I think who actually had the tens here? I'm a little confused. Okay, we got it right. Ace on the turn. Seabass had the tens, called the all in. As long as it's fading a 10, and he does. And
Wow,
Brad
that shifts everything
and
here.
Sebastian is obviously like man runs into it at the wrong time, finds himself dominated, and Brad will become our new chip leader.
Not by much, and Mac Daddy isn't necessarily.
Out
I
of
mean, he's
that-
behind, but not
So
like
that
astronomically.
completely changes the outlook of the table because then Mac Daddy could get called and all in by
Yep.
both of them, and we could be pretty much back to even.
Yep.
So it is not over here, folks. Not by any stretch. That is a huge change to the outlook of this table.
3K, 33, yeah, 33.
I guess Brad doesn't get to go watch basketball.
According to you.
Yep, I
As
guess
soon as he
yeah,
thinks.
Brad's gonna have to keep playing.
Oh, he has to play more.
No, like after
Darn, I have a chance of winning. Damn it. Damn it.
Why do you fold Jack 8 suited in the small blind before?
Because every time I've been calling, he just shoves. And I didn't want to shove.
Trying to get second.
Trying to get
That's
second.
I think that's a fair goal, right?
Look at the hand that just
But he
came
could
up.
end up now. He's in a spot to have a chance at the win.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, Jack versus 10.
I jammed 10, so you called.
Sebastian's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. I can understand
Yep. Well,
being
now
upset there, but
Here's the chip right here.
Mac Daddy gets a double from someone. Again, this is
15 bigs for Brad.
way back in it.
6 bigs for Mac Daddy.
I posted quicker though.
No, it's 25, 5K.
Alright, blinds are up for this hand?
And they're gonna up it to 25 and 5K.
They're gonna up it to try and get this thing done.
So they started at noon, so it's an hour 5.
So I think we came on the call about 2 o'clock, Jeff.
Mhm.
So we've been at it for 3 hours here. And we have raised the blinds and Seabass with King 7.
Might shove here, we'll see.
May shove to try and force one out, but it's kind of a marginal hand, especially with 2 behind. Queen 3, and Brad will try to force the steal here. Oh no, he folded. I thought he said he was
fold.
on.
Jack 7.
And Mag Daddy, Jack 7. Defending on the big blind defense. That was bad. No, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Defense. Thank you.
There we go.
Goodness. So there you go, folks. And there's the other part of it too, is that we only have 26 big blinds on the table.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to get lucky.
Yep.
You have to get lucky at this point. That's the way it is. There's not really gonna be a bunch of like, you know, call. You're gonna see some probably limping and getting to a board, but somebody's raising. We're definitely gonna be getting into the run it out point. So Ju and Java said similar. He had a king queen on a 10-4-6, 10-6-4 queen 3 diamond board. Magdaddy made a huge pre. He called. So easily folded, but not sure how Magdaddy plays. Flop check. Turn Mac bets 2. I call. River Mac jams 99.50. I've 11.750 behind and tank called. So was that a spot where he? Oh yeah, I think didn't he hit the running diamonds
Yes.
on that hand? Might have been. Yeah. 3 diamonds. I'm sure it did.
They've practiced, like they definitely.
He wasn't sure how Mac Daddy played. So we're at 3-handed here, looking to get to heads up at some point. And fold from the button.
How much is it? 5?
Seabass with Jack 8 will just limp in.
Oh boy.
And gonna run into another truck here. And he will obviously raise it up. And will Sebastian think about calling? And no, just
fold.
surrenders money over to Brad again. And Brad builds a little bit of a lead here. Oh, he had ace queen in that. That's a tough spot. It was king queen, ace queen in that spot. It definitely was a different spot.
Did you notice any problems with the stream on
I'm resubscribing to
See, do I have a Twitch Prime subscription? I might. Yeah, I'll send along. I don't normally subscribe to anybody.
6-4, 5-4. Yep, fold away to 5-2. Wow. Exciting.
Oh, that's nice. You got the left shark. Emo, I need to add that. I'm still trying to update my Twitch feed.
Were you able to fix in there? No. 9-3.
Well, I guess if you're just joining us, that's Alec Rome on Jeff Ekstrom.
Yeah,
Probably should mention
that was me, Alec Rome, Jeff Ekstrom, going at it for a few hours here. BU Poker Club March Madness Knockout Tournament. We got the basketball games going on here. It might be going on here pretty soon.
Yeah, they might be starting.
So that's why Brad wants to get done with this. King 4. And now he can't really shove. He can't really do that. And he's going to be able to make some fold.
Oh,
Guaranteed
that's a
shove coming. And
Oh,
King
wow.
Queen is going to call. I'm sure he's going to call. And he finds himself behind again.
Wow.
And Seabass could end up being our short stack after being a dominating chip leader.
Hearts are live.
Oh, no. Hearts are live.
And you-
Let's see what the flop is. You got a 7, an ace on that board, and it almost puts him dead. Got backdoor possibilities. It's a queen on the turn, and I don't think
it up. It's dead.
it's dead. It's absolutely dead. Mac Daddy will get a giant double up here and put Seabass at just maybe 4 or 5 big blinds. And oh, how the tables have turned for Sebastian. Runs into 2 trucks. The run good leaves.
Mac Daddy. with the run good. Nothing really you can do about that.
Wow. Wow. This has been an amazing day of poker, but
The dump
it's
truck
just-
came through Seabass right there.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can you can see
just the
Seabass
anguish
is,
on
yeah.
his face.
Oh yeah.
Understandably.
Your 10 call with king queen, baby. That would have been.
I mean, just running into trucks here in the final three. Jacks over his tens, and now ace queen over his king queen.
What were these guys doing today? They're just like.
They said they were just playing heads up, and then
You had 27.
Wow.
they've been following us like because they like heard about us and were like, you know, oh, that's cool. So they just hit us up. They hit Guinea up
right now?
That's me.
and we're like, hey,
Cause like, do they already have it set up?
Mac, you had 65.
Pretty-
They
Like,
announce
they
their
had-
own stuff. Cause they announce their own games.
I don't know that they do that. I think they just
because
Like they have a black background with like the mics and the headphones and everything. Like, it's just sitting there ready.
he literally when he was like, when I was like, oh, you want to do this webcam too? He's like, yeah, let me set my background.
Yep, that's
No,
pretty much how
yeah.
it went. Literally, we have the background. We have like a green screen background we could have used. Like this is just stuff that refund money paid for. Essentially, I had some extra refund money from college tuition, not having to pay. Well, having stuff covered. Essentially, got some refund money, and yeah, that helped out big. That's what set this up. It's been a lot of investment over there, and luckily now we have the potential to just set up a background
Yeah.
and do it, and that's the fun part about it. That's what allowed us to happen. It was pretty. It's pretty nuts. I'll say it's nuts. It's cool and nuts. It's cool and crazy. Oh, we get the Chintan emote now. Awesome. Brad is in knit. The basketball games will make him better.
Yeah, I gotta pay you again? No, I didn't pay you again. I'll pay Sebastian again.
Yep.
Paying myself.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh no! And Sebastian finds himself.
Well, he's got 2 live cards. That's all that matters.
2 live cards. Seabass could be losing 3 in a row, but
7 in the window.
7 there on the board. 6 outs for Brad. The turn is a
Oh,
spade, which
spade,
adds
14
outs. Could it be a sick 4 card? It
Oh,
is!
it is!
Oh no! He
Wow.
throws the cards and it's all over. We're heads up. There it is again, and the run good is run bad. 3 hands in a row, and Sebastian is gone.
He is out of here.
I can't imagine we're getting him for an interview. I
No.
can't imagine we will.
Probably not.
Understandable. I mean, you tried to basically get the steal with 7-5, and you were behind. Here's the thing, Jeff. You were behind. You were
Yeah.
behind. And Brad had plenty. I mean, he still had equity on the turn, added equity with the backdoor flush. It's a rough way to
We got
end it,
Sebastian
but
here.
you were
1
behind
second.
to start. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to take that in stride.
Oh,
It's just the fact 7 was
Cool
in the
hangout,
window
is
and
it?
he was
Man,
ahead.
and we
It's
do,
4%
we do have
running speed.
Sebastian. We do have Sebastian right there in the door.
okay. Yeah, we got Sebastian here.
Man, all right. So Sebastian's
1
going to come
second.
on the stream with us right off. Still,
Okay, here we go.
great play from him,
Oh,
nonetheless.
yeah. Really impressed.
Really good play, but man, just a rough way to end it.
Sometimes cards just don't fall your
Hey,
way.
what's up, guys?
What's up, Sebastian?
All right, so he's here. Here's Sebastian for us. How you
I'm
doing,
pretty
man?
pissed.
How you
I'm
feeling?
extremely pissed, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can understand.
yep.
I can understand now. Now, I still think you played pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Are you proud of the way you played today, except for that run back?
Yeah, I made a few mistakes that I'm not really excited about because it's like spots that I studied. But overall, I think I played well. You know, especially like when I accumulated chips, I feel like I played well. And at the end, like I can't do anything about it.
I mean, really, just like it fell apart there. Essentially, just being, you know, you wake up with 10s right, and it's an obvious
Yeah.
shove. You wake up with king queen, and it's an obvious call, and just find yourself crushed. Do you really think you could have done anything different there?
I mean, I don't really think so. There's a hand earlier where I had ace-8 suited where Brad jammed. And thinking about it, I should have called because, I mean, he wasn't excited about jamming. And he has a lot of weaker hands that he shoves there. So I could have knocked him out there, but that's like pretty much it. There's like nothing I could do in that spot. It's just frustrating to me. Like winning $15 is nothing to me. I just want to win the tournament. Even if I won first prize, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to a hand that you played. Was it with Jack, where you ended up check raising him with the gutter with 8-6, and he shoved all in. You tanked there for about 2 minutes, and I really was wondering what was your thought process there? Why did you take that long? Did you think you had more outs, or were you just thinking about the knockout points? What made you really think about making that call?
I mean, obviously, I was thinking about the knockout. I was getting 4-1, so I need a little over 4-1, so I needed like 19-20%. I knew if I had just the 4 outs, if I just had the 4 outs, I have like 12-13% for the gutter. And then I was thinking, like, is he really shoving a 10 here? Like, I'd anticipate him to just call his top pair, let me bluff the turn. So I was like, mainly I was just confused as to what he had. I really thought that he would just call his 10. So I was thinking, like, I think he might just be, like, bluff shoving his overcards. You know, in the case that I have a bluff myself. So that's what I was thinking about. I was like, are my pairs live potentially? So that's the only reason why I tanked.
Yeah, more equity.
Exactly. So like I knew just with the gutter, I didn't have the right price. It was close, but I didn't have the right price. I was just thinking, like, do I potentially have my pairs live, which I didn't. He shoved king 10.
And obviously made a good fold there. But I can understand now, hearing you talk through it, I can understand where you came from there on that. But overall, played really well today. I'm sorry, man, that it ran out. We have one more question.
It seemed like your strategy today really came with a lot of aggression, especially a lot of donk bets, especially when you had with heads up with Adrian. You were going a lot of aggressive moves. Was that kind of your strategy going into today's tournament?
I donk bet one time. Oh, actually, I didn't donk bet. I didn't donk bet a single time. I was leading. It was like limp pots, so it's not really a donk bet. I mean,
you were essentially just trying to be aggressive and take a lot of pots down.
He was pretty much like, I mean, he was giving off a lot of tells, like when he had anything, when he didn't have anything. But overall, it's like, I understand ranges pretty well. So like, there was a hand against Brad where the flop came 3-4-6 all diamonds. I had king 9 of clubs, and it's like, his defend, like, thought about it a little bit, and he defended. Like, I know he doesn't have a piece of the board. If he has a flush draw, like, he calls, I know to shut it down. He never has a pair there. I know I'm taking it down most of the time. So yes, I was aggressive quite a bit because I just knew on certain boards, like, they didn't have it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think made sense, dude. You're a good player. You just ended up running bad there. We hope you do well in the next one. You obviously did well in this one. Maybe you'll take down one. Thank you so much for joining us, Sebastian.
Thank you.
Really
we have the main
it.
event in April, and then we have the Champs tournament. We have the main event's our biggest tournament. The entry fees double. The points are like doubled as well. It's usually pretty intense because that's like when our standings are finalized. There's a lot of pressure. Also, Player of the Year is probably going to get decided there. Player of the Year is the person with the most points, and I think I'm leading it now. So that's also going to be Player of the Year gets a trophy and a gift card. So that's going to be interesting.
Important. So I hope we'll be around to watch, or maybe call that one, and we'll hope to see you there and see you at a final table competing for Player of the Year.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, appreciate it so much for you guys coming. Like,
and we have the April tournament also.
Oh yeah, we have an April. I forgot.
No problem. We're excited. We're really. We were talking a lot about. That's why I sent you guys a message for us, because we're trying to connect some of the poker clubs, and we might have the potential to do an online league, which would be really cool. So appreciate it, man. We'll let you go.
All right, thank you guys. Have fun. I got day 2 of a tournament tomorrow, so I gotta get
All right.
going. Nice. All right, thank you so much for commentating.
Study up.
All right.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
See you guys.
All right, so that was a great conversation, Sebastian.
Yes.
Really cleared up some of the questions I had. We got a hand here now. Heads up. 7-3 deuce. Got a bet of 5. Brad raised to 10, and Magdaddy will call with the 5, and Magdaddy decided to shove all in on the king. Get a fold. What a hand there. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
And Magdaddy will take the lead again. Remember, folks, we're at 2. I think we're at 2.5, 5.
75 and 70K.
I kind of want to like
Mac Daddy with a slim lead.
graduation and like maybe see this thing out. I don't know. We can make it
Slim lead there.
Oh,
525. Just started heads up. Only a couple hands in.
Nah, I'm not kidding. I would poker to play all day. I said we're not playing. That'll be good.
He says as he sets up.
I mean, I don't have the level of knowledge of poker that Sebastian, Jack, you.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes the
Yeah.
run good makes a difference, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything.
You know, like,
Sometimes you run good and make the right play at the right time based on instinct. I think makes a difference. And Mac Daddy has built himself a chip fort, and that chip fort will be
Yes.
folded there with the 5 deuce 7-4. We got some junk there. Shows the 7-4 as if it made a difference.
Yes.
Doesn't?
The old fourth.
Domination Nation there.
Suck on these apples. 7-4.
Yeah, right.
Guys are dead even.
You fold it.
Yeah, I got the nuts.
I'll actually jump.
Well, it looks like, according to that, we are absolutely dead even at
Yeah.
72.5 apiece. Wow. So a dead even heads up here. This one might take a little while, but Brad might be getting might get frisky and trying to get and watch March Madness.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I was gonna say, you want to chip 40 and then winner gets 5?
should be tipping off soon.
Chop 40, winner gets 5.
Oh.
60.
Never know. You could ship it with 5-3 and hit
So
flops.
we're still playing for something.
They're making a deal.
Could be. I mean, it does hit flops some of the time.
No.
Okay.
No deals. They said they're not
No
going to make a
deals.
deal. They could have made a deal for points for 60-25, but they're not going to make one.
We can split points too if you want. Points
Actually,
don't
no,
matter.
points are playing.
I
They're
feel
all
like
like
I
20.
for that.
Well, it doesn't look like they're gonna make one.
Didn't look like I made the one. They were talking about something.
I feel like I should get.
Brad on the button with the 8-5 of spades.
Tell anyone because I can.
Definitely a playable hand. Heads up.
You have to do a 5 and 5.
You know that Yeti
So
though.
are you guys trying to do that?
Alright, Brad. What are you doing?
Good to go.
Do a secret.
So he limps in with 8-5, and Mac Day with 6 deuce. Obviously going to take his option.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like these guys want to play to a winner, and I think that's legitimate. Both of
Yep.
them have played well enough, especially Mac Daddy. They have played well enough to get to this point. Want to see a winner. King 4-3, 2 hearts. You got a gutter for Mac Daddy, but one of those 5s is gone. The 9 outer, and Brad, I think, continued and easily took it down, folded the gutter. Not much option there. Or no, did Mac
No,
Daddy
I-
bet?
I think
he
Mac
must have
Daddy
bet. Yeah, Mac Daddy donked out there, and it happened to be a
Yeah.
good donk. Smart. Yeah, you bet 10K. There you go. So picking up that pot. I think that's kind of the situation that Mac Daddy's going to be trying to put Brad in, is just
Yeah.
continuing to be aggressive, because it seems like Brad will play a little bit more passive.
Yep.
He's going to fold a lot of hands, especially to C-bet. So Mac Daddy's just going to have to grind it out and then hope if he ends up having a hand that, you know, he can draw out or something like that. We'll see.
And about to say, and with his table image too, with Mac Daddy, he pulled that one good bluff off with the Queen 5, but
He's still
He's
representing
still-
a lot of good
yeah.
hands.
Wait, could I?
in a fold from 9-7 suited, it was dominated, but
If we do that, can I?
Still,
was a playable hand. Heads up.
minor raise.
Yeah.
On the side, because I have to face more and fold.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can
We can just, we can just
No Annie, just 2.5 and 5.
Because like if I say first place gets 40, second place gets 40, it's like fuck.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, it's fine. I guess.
so on paper it has to be.
Nah, I think you're.
Well, yeah, they're talking still about kind of like the point breakdowns, and they still look like they're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
It is a big jump from 25 to 60 is a huge jump. Normally
Yeah.
we don't have in our tournaments we try to keep the jump a little bit lower from that, but there's still like at least probably a double jump from like first to second. That's about going up, but even then this is a little bit bigger. It's about a 2.5 times jump from second to first.
I mean,
And Brad gets
Brad-
dealt the same
Yep.
hand, 9-7.
depends how I'm
Looks like our dealer may not have shuffled, and we'll just complete there. Calling a check, and Mac Daddy, let's see, we don't know what he checked with yet, and banked a flop of 9, Queen 6, a middle pair for Brad. We're sweating with Brad, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Sweating with Brad. Mac Daddy checks,
will
leads
get
out,
it.
and apparently it wasn't a sweat at all. Brad takes it down with the C-bet.
I bet 5, he folded. We did mess out.
Now we're almost back to even.
You check first. Oh yeah, you did.
I did. I checked. Yeah. Check full.
That's you.
Well,
Like, we do that.
You got
all right, Jeff's gonna use the restroom. I'll carry it here for a little bit. Might trade off.
Don't get it. Don't do it cooler without me.
All right, we're gonna try not to. Well, I can't control anything, Jeff.
You and Nico in the tournament?
And so it'll be Mac Daddy on the small blind, I believe.
I hate this.
What?
The difference
Or might be
between
on the big
small
one.
blinds and
It
the-
should go away for like final two.
You don't ante.
Oh really?
Yeah, you don't ante.
Wait, have you been playing Annie?
I
said
said it. I'm sorry.
You don't ante.
Either way, I meant for the whole tournament.
We've done it for like an even amount of heads. So it's
Alright.
fine.
Alright, guys,
If it stacks, you're slightly off.
And so it is Mac Daddy on the button.
And you're.
There'll be a winner and a loser.
I think you actually owe me like.
Brad is like, you owe me $20. Mac Daddy with 10-3 of spades does shove, sort of as a bluff to try and get Brad to take a shot. Does not take a shot and folds. Blinds are at 3 and 6K now, by the way. I don't think we have a big blind of Annie anymore. Wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I want him to stick around because I want to like talk more formally with him about the future.
It's up to 3-6.
Shower for president.
Brad will be on the button
You want Sebastian?
on the small blind, right?
I'm not gonna do that.
You
I don't care that
You don't want that
much.
responsibility.
Yeah, I don't care that much, and I'm not trying to like. I want him on keyboard still. It would be an agreement.
Brad with Jack 3 will complete.
Call.
Wait, you actually want president?
No, I mean who doesn't? But like, it's a
Absolutely. I'm the president of my club, but we didn't really vote for our president. It doesn't really matter. We're just coming to play poker.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm
I agree.
honestly hoping that somebody else joins from my grade because I don't want to be.
Ace 5 deuce flop. Brad with a gutter. Mac Daddy with
Well, if I
a brick, and it goes check to the turn. Turn is an 8, which does not really change anything, and Mac Daddy will just check it, and Brad will go ahead and probably c-bet, or at least, you know,
yeah.
bet the turn, rather. Bet 6K into pot of 12. And Mac Daddy raises to 12 and will get the call, trying to push Brad out of it, but does not. And Mac Daddy has to now find himself into an interesting spot. He gets called for this check raise. And now you have to continue the line here out of position. No matter what this card is, you got to bet at it. Is it a good card? That's the question. It's a queen. It is not a good card. Brad has it with Jack high, but how can you ever think you have it? And Mac Daddy shoves all in and gets it through. Unreal. Mac Daddy check raising the turn, setting up a river shove on the queen. Exactly the way you had to play it. You had to shove or make a big bet no matter what, and we'll pull a big pot. Brad was actually good with Jack high there versus 10-9. It was Jack 3, 10-9. What a hand there. Mac Daddy taking a now almost 2-1 chip lead there, Jeff, as Jeff comes back in. But
Again, the factor we said at the beginning, the aggressiveness for Mac Daddy getting it through
that's
there.
right. That's why I said is that he's got the cojones to
Yeah.
actually make those types of plays, and he set it up exactly right with the check raise on the turn.
And it just Brad so far in this heads-up match hasn't shown that he's willing to really get a lot of bluffs in there. He's either going to have the nuts or have a really good pair or not.
Well, yeah, and here's the tough thing, too, is that it depended really on the card. I think Mac
Yeah.
Daddy was shoving no matter what.
Yeah.
And if it comes up a jack, you really do wonder, does Brad call
Yeah.
with the jack? A pair of jacks. So that's the real question. And does not play the Doyle Brunson,
Nope.
and we see a fold.
Because they need me to sign off, assuring that the proper people are receiving their payments.
They did raise the blinds to 3 and 6.
So
Because I could say, oh,
5:34 here.
Yeah, that's true.
Central Time
disprove that. I mean, we could be like, hey, just check the stream.
in LNK, Lincoln, Nebraska. Alec Rome right here. Jeff Extramuller with me from UNL Poker Club.
You say check the
Got a
stream,
chance to
so
really
I'll-
connect
then
with
we can
Binghamton
decide.
University Poker Club, having a lot of fun doing the stream. Brad
pretty sure you
on the button with King 3.
Alright,
All in
Oh,
a call, but he's
wow,
dominating, and
a
this could
truck.
be it. An absolute truck, but both
Was it
hearts and clubs are live. Brad is saying, I want to end it right here.
Don't mind the shove. You got a high card. King 3 is a very good hand.
This
for
one is
heads up.
going to pretty much decide it.
You know?
Mac Daddy does have him covered. And a 3
Three.
comes on the
Wow.
flop. Unreal. That is is unreal. Only 3 outs right now. Mac Daddy, but there's outs because he has a backdoor flush. This is absolutely ridiculous. The river, could it be a club? It is. Oh my God.
Insane.
Ridiculous hand I've ever seen. That is sick. That is absolutely sick. We went from domination rotation to domination rotation again.
It's like the Spider-Man meme. Got you.
Unreal. Brad
Wow.
shoving, just trying to end it. Mac Daddy finds himself ahead. No problem. And then on the river, gets rivered. What a terrible card. The Queen of Clubs, a sick card. An absolutely sick card. Unreal. Unreal.
How much do you got behind now?
Dang. And
Wow.
now Mac Daddy finds himself there. And Brad, he just wanted second place, but he's
Yeah.
in a great position to possibly win. And boy, Mac Daddy, you can't be upset with how you played
No.
it. You got it in at the right time. Just so happened that the cards took you on an absolute roller coaster and teased you, thinking that you just got it back after being behind on the flop. Unreal. That is sick. That is absolutely sick.
I need a doggy bag. That was too sick.
You're right, Jeff. Boy, oh boy, that was sick. Ugh. How do you recover from
Yeah.
that is the question. 7-4.
Well-
Was Mac Daddy just shipping in right now?
Actually a nuts hand right there. Because whoever won that hand, you wins the tournament.
He
Well,
just
that's
is
his
just gonna.
blind.
That's his blind,
Pretty big swing.
and he
Yeah,
folds it.
folds. Queen 6.
Yeah, not the time.
Yeah.
Man, wow. But you can't discount Mac Daddy's still around. He's got 3 big blinds. He can get a double up. He's probably gonna need another one after that. Down. I think might have a little bit more than 22K, but
Yeah.
obviously having to ship out his blind there, I think is the reason why.
I'll say it's 3 and 6.
And apparently, King
Blinds.
3 is a Binghamton University Poker Club meme hand, and it's not a surprising run out. That's our. It's like our 5-3.
Yeah, it's like a 5-3.
It's like our 5-3. We swear it hits flops, and there you go. King 3 gets it in.
Wow.
That is unreal.
Spring break
Uh,
time and I forgot to make
7-4. We flipped it.
You might fold.
That's okay though.
UNC, I need Auburn to go to the final and lose to Duke, and then I might be able to win the bracket or two.
Nice.
Yeah, I need Kentucky to lose, and then
Yep,
Jack
he's
to
gonna
go to the Final Four.
Just folds it. You wonder what. Mac Daddy had.
Yeah,
Queen
he
8.
was shipped. I bet he would.
Probably would have shipped it.
I never won one of these, yo.
Now we're just looking for another cooler. Man,
Yeah,
that
wow.
was-
That
I'm
was
still in
insane.
shock by that hand.
I'm close.
We've had some good ones.
I came in
Yeah. Today.
We've had 3 really just standout hands to me.
I was
Ace, what was it? Aces,
Ace, Queen,
tens,
and 10.
Yeah,
Same, though.
ridiculous, ridiculous. And we had Ace Queen versus Kings. That was crazy, on an absolute roller coaster
It
ride.
ended up being 3.5.
Because really, if it's a different Queen, then I think he.
Oh, well, here's the
Here it comes. Here comes the shove. Will it be a call?
And no, not 9-5.
9-5. The Dolly Parton will not get the call. Mac Daddy will just scoop it in. So that's basically what we're waiting for.
Yeah. It makes sense to do. I don't really.
As long as you're a good student, it's not that hard to get in, right?
Oh,
Even if you're a bad student, you're still. Yeah, I got like a 305. I got in.
Yeah, I think you just
I saw my acceptance. I was like, oh, they must be desperate for applicants.
If you went to Binghamton for undergrad accounting, I think you only.
That's not bad. Only needed
Yeah.
3.
might just
I could have went to Bennington for accounting.
Yeah. Don't know if math is your strong suit.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes, you know.
Now in
count
poker
the-
odds, yes.
Poker odds, yes. Other math, I will say
Yeah.
no. Calculus 1 was the end. That was it. I was done with math after that. I was like, it gets no stupider or less useful in my life than this. Brad on the Bhutan with King 7 might be a spot where you want to try and put some
Yeah.
pressure on.
Way below average.
Gets
Oh,
it all
yeah.
in. And Mac Daddy's got a
Yep.
call.
All right, here we go.
Some all in. Here we go. Ace 3 versus King 7.
Well, three's
Here
in
we
there.
go. Mac Daddy ahead again, but only 60-40 to a flop. Live cards. Flop has come. A Jack 6-5. You got some backdoor stuff for Brad, but nothing really. Let's see. The turn card does not change it. King or a 7 to knock Mac Daddy out and take the win here into University Poker Club. Here's the river.
Yeah, King 7.
It's an
An
ace.
Another
And
double up.
Mac Daddy will get the double up, and it gets a little bit closer.
Ace 3.
Now this got chip lead though.
That's you.
Now a little more even, 83 to 62.
So, yeah, top that off, so that's equal to.
Wow.
So DM.
That's equal to that, right?
Back and forth.
And then match that.
3, 5. Nah, man, a lot of sick ones today. That's the thing.
Do you guys think some of our more like casual members, like
Yeah, I've definitely, I was just thinking about Sebastian's, I think I had that happen to me that basically, I think West, where I was ahead on West twice and he drew back, and then the third time I was behind and he got me. I've had exactly happen to what happened against Sebastian. And it's definitely frustrating, but you also have to think, the first 2 times when you got it in, you absolutely had it in the right spot. And so you can, it's tough because poker sometimes makes you think about the results play, but at the end of the day, he even admitted that there's nothing more you can do there. You have to try and take that
Playing the
as your,
percentages and playing the cards.
you have to try and find some peace in the fact that he played the right way. And you also have to find the peace for Mac Daddy in the fact that you got it in at the right time.
Yep.
This isn't like, you're on like national news.
No, just because of the fact that you're sitting in this room, like.
Jack 10.
away from everyone and whatever, it's just annoying. Having to make the walk.
At least a call.
Mac Daddy.
And you're new and you have like 2 or 3 times.
I mean, do you shove here or you just flat? It's kind of, and that's what he's thinking about. He's
Yeah.
going all in.
Yep.
King
yeah,
5.
You might want to call.
And he does call
Yep.
with King 5, and here we go again. We are flipping
All right.
yet again for the
I have
Binghamton
you covered, right?
March Madness tournament title. Jack 10, King 5.
Sit down, sit the fuck down.
Mock Daddy.
Fuck that.
The
Did the
spades
double
are
up?
alive. Here comes the flop. Jack 10.
Wow.
Oh, man, but it's not done. 9% equity on the turn.
Spades.
It's a queen with
Oh,
jacks,
baby.
an ace or a 9. Oh, this would be absolutely sick for Mac
This
Daddy
is
to happen
insane.
again. Ace or 9. It's an ace. Oh,
Wow.
man. And there you go again. One hand, and Mac Daddy gets it back.
21 left?
21K left.
I might have had to run out of the room if that ace or 9
Oh,
came on.
man.
Whatever.
That's why we need to
Man.
That's like 52-40. Is stream still good?
Yeah.
I was ahead.
You watching too, Dick?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a. I think you just call it, try and end it there.
Yeah.
It's you have to win a flip. And
Yeah.
Mac Daddy, I think getting some justice for that King Queen hand.
Yep.
Getting some justice, and now Brad's gonna have to find a spot to shove. There we go. Shot to spub. And then
Shot the spot.
yeah, shot the spub and get it back. Definitely, it's possible. It's definitely possible. He can double up right away. I mean, you're gonna get the cards.
21, but. It's on me, all in.
Is he going all in blind?
And I think he did just declare all in.
Yeah.
Wait, why not?
And if you're
With
Mac
Queen
Daddy-
10.
Wow.
And 4-3, I think you win.
I think you just.
Oh, he just folded it. He
Okay.
just folded. I don't mind it.
2 minutes left. You had a good one?
Yep, I don't mind the fold with 3-4. It's kind of it. Even for calling a shove, you don't want to give him
Yeah.
a chance to get back in it with 4-3.
Oh, that's you, though. I did jam.
Yeah, he did. He jammed. He jammed.
Yeah,
Fuck
man.
it out.
Don't seduce action.
No one can seduce it.
JD action.
Damn, I shouldn't have said those no more.
Wow. I mean,
I just need 2 doubles.
just
now.
absolutely crazy
Yeah.
how this day has gone. I mean, there you go. Mac Daddy goes from
I mean, I was like,
being
Ace 4.
Tees
That's
with-
when you put them all in.
yep, and it's got to be a shove, and I'm sure you're gonna get a call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and he does call with 8-7, and again we were flipping, folks.
All right, here we go.
Mac Daddy with just barely the advantage. Here we go. Will this be the hand, folks? Here comes a flop.
In the window.
Queen, Jack. What is that last card? 10.
Ooh,
And
gets that
Brad
shot.
has a lot of outs, but it can't be a king, and Mac Daddy will lock it up. A 5, which does not change it, and it has to be a 9
Right now.
Oh,
He has 10 outs.
or an 8 or a 7. 9, 8, or 7. 4 on the river, and that's it.
It.
Mac Daddy is your March Madness tournament champion. After an absolutely ridiculous and crazy heads up, a lot of fun. Mac Daddy, with his aggressive play throughout the day, will get the W on the final hand with ace 4. Second place for Brad. That's exactly what he wanted. He can go watch basketball now, but a solid showing from Brad nonetheless.
Mock Dottie. Favorite nickname gets the victory. I think his strategy worked really well. He played tight and passive most of the time that we saw him here on the stream, especially with the final table. He played a lot of passive until around when there was 3 or 4, when it was 3 or 4 handed. Then he really put up the aggression. And I think that's
Absolutely.
No big deal.
And then we'll, of course, hear from somebody here in a second. I do want to look at the leaderboard here because that kind of makes a difference because I know Sebastian is in the top. And these guys are going to be leaderboard. Yes. All right, sweet. I do want to see. So
Now it's
where
good.
was?
You might want to make this full screen so we can look at each other.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll get it.
One
Sit him
second,
down.
one second.
Yeah. So
All right, guys, we got the runner-up coming in first for a little post commentary here.
runner-up Brad coming in. Brad, here he is.
Commentary.
I know. Hold on.
Waiting on getting everything ready to go. Going full screen.
Oh, this is like basically live.
Sound like it was like 20 seconds.
Oh yeah.
How do I-
Unlock.
Oh.
They're setting it up. There we go. Split screen.
We're just gonna jank it together for now.
Yeah, it's fine. My face will be.
All right.
Awesome.
Totally good. It's okay. It's pretty much the entire
Yeah.
day.
Okay. We got the runner-up Brad coming in.
How long is it gonna take him?
All right.
I don't know. They're live.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Brad? How do you feel, man? I mean, that's a great finish, second place. It seemed like it was exactly what you wanted. First off, talk to us through like your feelings through that just insane heads up. It goes back and forth pretty much the entire way. Did you really think like with that King 3, it's like, man, I've got to have it now? I mean, just explain
Yeah, I
what
don't know
you're
if you
feeling.
guys even heard, but I said this is gonna be my first win in Poker Club. Once I won that one.
Oh no,
boy.
jinxed
Yeah,
it.
but so my second place or maybe another third place.
So yeah, I mean that's not bad. I mean the King 3 hand, just like your emotions. I mean that was a roller coaster ride. What was going through your mind as those cards were
Yeah,
ripping off?
so for some reason I think suited cards are way better than they are, so I was always hoping for a flush, but eventually I guess I just got lucky and I was relieved at that point.
In your rotation, I mean, you obviously hit the 3 on the flop, and then the queen comes on the turn, but it's the club, right? And you're like, man, that sucks, but also you
Yeah,
have
it was
the
a bad
outs.
card, but
And
not the worst card.
on the river, yeah. And now, then Mac Daddy's able to basically get it back in that big heads-up hand. It was what, Jack 10, Ace, was it Ace 3?
Yes.
Yeah, that might have been it. I mean, a tough run out there, obviously, for Jack 10. You found it in ahead. Do you feel like you could have done anything different in the way you played? Or do you feel like you did the best
Yeah,
you
definitely
could?
heads up. I was just kind of tired and I didn't care much about second or first, so at that point I was just, going with anything I had. But if I played a little slower, you never know, but I'm happy.
Take a chance.
And so, yeah, when you talk about things you could have done differently, what will you fix in preparation for the main event and all the bigger tournaments coming up at the end of the year?
I think when I first sat down at the final table, I had a pretty good stack, and I just punted away for a while there, so I would slow down at the beginning of that, because even though I ended up getting it back, I was like the low stack or second low at one point at the final table.
Now, I must ask, I know you wanted to go watch March Madness. Which matchup tonight are you most excited for?
Texas Tech is playing tonight, I think. Yeah,
Yep. That'll be
I
a
like
really
that.
good
I
one.
need to see them get a win.
You want to see Texas Tech get a win? You think
Yeah, I
they're
have
going
them
to
in
get
my
one?
final four in my bracket, so.
Oh, yeah. Probably be nice
I
to
think
get in.
either team could honestly win that
Yeah.
one. Either Texas Tech or Gonzaga. But we're going to let you go so you can go enjoy that. Thank you so much for joining us, Brad. A lot of fun to watch. And have a good one. Good luck
Thanks,
in the rest
guys.
of
You
the
did a great job. It was very funny.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, so that was Brad with us, and runner-up here at the March Madness Knockout Tournament. Played really well, enjoyed him playing, and really, had to take it. It was just trying to run it out, run the cards right. So, and then of course we will have Mac Daddy
Mock Daddy
in just a second, I'm sure.
So to hear them, you just gotta put that on.
Put what on?
The headphones.
Ah, headphones. All right, word.
Here he comes. We can hear him.
What's good, guys?
There he is, the winner
There he is.
There he is, walking in. How you
I'm
doing,
chilling,
man?
dude. I'm fucking lamping.
Chilling, dude.
Black Dottie, my favorite nickname, getting the win.
Where
yeah.
did that nickname come from?
I was talking to people all the time, and just friendly person, macking on girls, Mac Daddy. It's the truth. It's the truth. So.
Yeah. Now you employed really like an aggressive strategy coming into this final table. Do you were you happy with how you played today? Because it seemed like
Yeah, I feel like I was just gonna win. Like when we started out, I was feeling pretty strong up until the final table, and then after the first like 4 or so people got out, and it was down to me, Adrian, Bradley, and Sebastian. I was like, I think I got this. I'm taking it. And then just every move I made there was just instant, whatever I was thinking at the time. Honestly, I didn't put too much thought into anything.
Now you were short stacked for quite a bit there, and just really having to try and find a spot. When Sebastian lost that first flip, were you feeling like, okay, maybe I've got a chance at this three-handed table, because he was basically dominating.
He was
the whole
smoking us.
time.
No, exactly. When he split with Bradley, I was like, all right, this opens up my possibilities. And then I think I went all in next hand or the hand after, and then doubled up on Sebastian, and then, or maybe that was before then. I don't know, but at some point, you know.
And were you really like surprised to see, like, were you worried about Sebastian? Then obviously just runs really bad and knocked out, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, this has totally changed like what I thought could be my final two, and then you faced Brad in the final two. Were you shocked by that result?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I feel like going into the final four, Sebastian kind of had my number. Like, we were betting pretty big, and then like he would just bet higher, and then I would fold out if I like missed my flop. But But like I feel like I still didn't have a read on him, so I was pretty excited when he drew dead. And then because I didn't really have a read on him, I didn't want to like think about any bet I had to make, so I would just all in anytime he was still in.
Now go through the king queen hand versus king three. Your just emotions obviously happen so quick, but yeah, I mean you got it in a head, and then the board just absolutely teases you.
Yeah, no, that's the game. It's like I can't be. If someone has a 10% chance throughout the whole hand they beat me, you can't be upset because the same thing's going to happen to you one day. It's all numbers game. That's the game.
Absolutely. Now, after today, is there anything you're really going to change heading into these final two really important tournaments? Obviously, getting a win is good, but do you think there's anything that you want to fix or improve on before you go into the next one?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, me and my friends kind of started like 2 months ago here. Like we've been playing like for longer than that. I was involved in the club freshman year a lot, and then not really as much through sophomore and junior year. But honestly, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna play my game, and I mean, if I make the satellite tournament or the final table or anything like that, great. But no, I'm gonna keep playing how I play. I'm not trying to ladder up. I'm not gonna fold out until I get more points.
And when you talk about your style of play, it seemed like until that final 4 or 5, when it gets to 4 or 5 handed, it seemed like you played a little more passive and then turned it up when it was 4 or 5 handed aggressively. So was that your plan throughout most of the day, was to be passive until it got to not a lot of play?
Honestly, it was just a feeling thing. I had no really plan going into the final table whatsoever. It was like once I got there, it was a completely new group of players, so I didn't really have a read on anybody. I didn't know too much going in, but no, I didn't really pre-plan any type of betting strategy going into today. I just kind of tried to switch up a decent amount and just do how I felt.
Now, there was one hand that I was really impressed by you. Let's go back to the queen 5 hand, where you just was able to continue to fire at that. I mean, did you know, if you found out what he had?
Yeah, I saw that he had a queen ace. So
Which is,
he would have smoked me. He had me.
You got to feel so good.
Oh, that was
I
great.
was going to say, you got to feel so good when that
it's
comes
awesome.
through, especially the diamond on the river, because, I mean, are you bluffing at any cards other than like a diamond there?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, thankfully the diamond did come up, because then like he can think that I have the flush, and clearly he did because he folded out, or maybe he thought I had a 2-pair or something. But I figured that he didn't have a 2-pair, and I figured if he did have a queen, then because I bet big on the flush draw, and then a flush would have came up if I had it. Then I figured I had to go for it, and I don't know. Once again, it was a feeling thing.
And it also a feeling thing because you really also made another really good play, I think, either in 3-handed or heads up, where you check raise the turn, able to shove on the river and get a fold from Brad, who actually had Jack high, the best hand. You had 10-9, and the river came. What did it come? A queen, and you were able to shove there and got him to fold. Was that sort of a feeling thing? Did you sense weakness there?
Yeah, I guess kind of. I mean, I feel like at that point, based on what I was betting beforehand, I couldn't just check it out. I feel like I didn't feel strongly about winning the hand, and I feel like the only way I would have won it was if I bet, and all in felt right. So.
Well, absolutely, man. It was a joy to watch you. Great job today, man. We'll hopefully be back to commentate over more, and congratulations.
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
big win.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys are surprisingly good commentators. I'm impressed. I can see why you want to commentate.
Well, yeah,
like
thank you,
like
man.
when you.
This is our first time.
This is our first time.
Wow,
doing
really?
poker, so.
You comment other stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do basketball, football, occasionally soccer. He's doing softball tomorrow, right?
Softball.
Big
I'm
Ten.
bored, but I'll be calling baseball.
Yeah, he'll be
softball.
calling baseball a little bit. So we do we're actually broadcast communication students at UNL, so it kind of helps, right? And we wanted to do
Yeah,
this.
no,
So
you guys got a knack for
that
this. I
was,
could totally
cool.
see you guys in the booth someday, commenting whatever it'll be.
Oh, yeah.
Either if it's professional baseball or
Appreciate
cornhole.
Yeah, exactly. Either one is good with me.
Hey, if
the
it's on
network
TV,
guys in
why not?
cornhole,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll be back.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you
Yeah,
so
I mean,
much.
is your like links posted anywhere? Because I'll definitely check you guys out sometime.
Yeah, we'll. I know we wanted to send some stuff along. I'll put some stuff in the chat here on Twitch that you can put up, but I'll put both of our Twitters. And I'm also streaming. I think tomorrow for we do online poker stream for a tournament on Replay Poker. So I'll be doing a stream tomorrow about 6 o'clock on my Twitch channel. So I'll put all the stuff in the chat for you guys to check out. I'm sure we'll be in contact probably to do more stuff in the future, man.
Awesome. Thanks again, guys.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah,
thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks.
All right, check that out for real.
Yo, Court.
Twitter.
All right.
Yep. Thanks. Good job.
I earned my ride home. I earned my ride home.
Later. Yeah, he did earn his ride home.
Okay, guys.
Well, that's gonna wrap things up. Really fun
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah,
A lot of
that
coolers.
was a lot of fun, man.
And really, the first tournament we ever broadcasted. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was fun. So we'll close it out.
Before we go, just tell me a little more about your poker situation at your school. You have a club? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we, we're sitting at my, I guess, home dorm poker table right now. I found on Craigslist
Great.
for $30, and we had been playing home games all throughout the first semester. And when we came back from winter break, we were like, why don't we try doing a poker club? We have a lot of fun with our friends, and I'm sure we could find more people. We went through a very expansive and
Painstaking, yes.
rough process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not that easy over here
official-
either. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just really, and even right now, trying to like get funds and all that, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have some sort of financial number that they assigned us, but they actually didn't assign it to us until yesterday, which is really cool, right? Like, oh, okay, you really care about us. But no, we started and we have about 25 people that have actually showed up. We
That's
get a rate,
great.
they're about 14, I would say. And so it's good for a little first semester
Absolutely.
club, honestly. We have a lot of fun people playing, and we're going to try and stream our Grand Championship on April 27th
Oh, great.
using our technology at the journalism school. It's going to be tough. We're going to have our own
What sort of
stands,
what sort
just
of
like
technology
today,
are you
but-
looking at? What I'm sure you don't have a stream
So
table.
we actually have. I mean, obviously we're able to set up a stream like
Just cameras
through
and
all
stuff.
the stuff that I
Yeah.
just put down, camera stuff. But they have some nicer JVC cameras
cool.
and all that. And a TriCaster, a whole switcher.
Oh,
But
wow.
here's the problem: is that it's so complicated that honestly, trying to do a simple stream isn't really
Yeah.
that simple
Yeah.
to use all that stuff. So it's gonna be quite the deal for us to try.
Yeah,
and
that's
figure out.
great. And
So-
so, well, what year are you guys?
We are
Right,
both
oh,
freshmen.
that's even better. You have plenty of time to expand this.
Right.
And our goal has always been to start streaming, get it up there. No one else is doing this, and then reach out. Like this is a great example. Reach out to as many people as we can. Try to set up some sort of league. Maybe if we could even start with online tournaments, everyone can play online. That would be cool. And
Yeah, we're actually it's been on the side for us right now with that online league, but we actually do have enough to like satisfy with the website that sponsors me, Replay Poker. They're a good website. They got some good support staff, and they would totally be up for us like starting a league. If we get people that just register
Right.
on there, it's super easy. It's free. and all that, and we could honestly get that going. And it would be a good thing, particularly for us over the
Yeah.
summer,
Oh, yeah.
to start that up, do like a Discord, get
Definitely.
connected. I know MIT Poker Club, we hadn't gotten back to them in a while, but I know they showed some general interest in that, and we love to
Yeah.
follow up, but we just got super
That's
busy,
where we're at.
and that got put on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, that'd be a great summer thing. I want to keep that up and try to get that to happen with you guys, because obviously, like, watching the college poker tour, like, that was a great idea in theory, but I feel like we can do it a
Yeah,
lot better,
definitely.
honestly.
It wasn't exactly all about the poker. You get,
Yeah,
what we're
exactly.
saying.
There's some theatrics going on there
Yeah.
for sure. But I think we can really do it like right. And you guys are passionate. We're passionate. We know there's other poker clubs and college students out there that would love to do it. So
Yeah.
that's like our ultimate dream, and we want to get it done, man.
Our main crew working on this project, we're all juniors graduating next year. So next year is, you know, our biggest year to try to push this and get it as widespread and mainstream as possible. So we'll definitely be connecting with you guys and anyone we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll try and connect up with you guys. I will send, if it makes it easy, I'll send a Facebook message with all of our like contact info
Perfect.
and stuff. I'll send it there so you guys can stay in contact, and we'll try to
Yeah,
keep
and
up with
we'll
you guys.
get you the
Now-
dates for the next tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Now, question: how did you guys get your RFID table?
Did you built that
Yeah.
yourself, right? But obviously that takes some
Yeah.
low name.
So Josh Gindy, who's been popping in and out, he's the one who funded the table. We built it in our fab lab here. Basic woodworking stuff. We use a router, you know, to get the cables. It's a couple layers of plywood and foam, and then the cables sit underneath a top layer of foam and felt. And we got that all done. All the tools were available. And Gindy was gracious enough to put up the money, and here we are. We got my laptop over there in the other room, and Jacob's laptop in here, and we just hit start streaming, and here we are. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah, because we're really looking into make that the next thing. We've tried to reach out to some outlets maybe to get it sponsored
Yeah.
or something like that, but that was another avenue. Was can we build it ourselves, and what's the
Yeah,
feasibility
if
of
your
that,
if
so.
your school has some sort of woodworking shop on campus, which I'd have to assume they do, then then you could definitely do it. And I know our vice president Brendan O'Shea, he was around. He left now. He's the one who did the main portion of the building, and he'd be happy to help you guys out. We found the plans online,
Sweet.
and all the equipment is videopokertable.net. I think it's an Australian company, actually.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, great, guys. Thank you so much. Like, this has
Awesome.
been amazing. It made it a little easier for us to run the tournament over there. Oh, we had someone with great commentary. So we'll have to do this again.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, absolutely. We had so much
Yeah.
fun, man.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
And
for
check
watching.
out- check
We'll
them
get in
out.
Contact and
Yeah.
hopefully be back.
Thank you.